Hello, and welcome. It's Monday again, and it's Monday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. here in beautiful Lafayette, Indiana, world headquarters of the Trucking Answers. Trucking Answers, let's just put it that way. I don't even know. I'm already lost. Today, traffic and weather on the threes, 87 degrees, 67-degree dew point. We're going to go to 90. It's sticky today, hot this week. Traffic looking good. Traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Thank you for listening. It's brake check week coming up. Hey, the I-40 bridge, there's an update, and it's interesting how they worded the update. I love it. I wrote it down. I love the wording. They're going to ration diesel at some TAs, 60 gallons, 60-gallon limit at some TAs. That's right. They can't get any fuel. And for that, South Dakota and Wyoming are giving fuel haulers the HOS exemption. So I assume that that will at least help a little bit. What we need, that's what we need, drivers driving even farther. I love it. So that's always a possibility. Seat comfort for retention. Would that get you to stay somewhere because they change your seats? There's some companies thinking about that, among other things. And of course, I've got our usual stocks, fuel, and some Dogecoin monies for everyone going on for that. And of course, our sponsor for today's show. You know, there's this thing coming up, the World Wide Web thing, and computers, they're going to be big. They're going to be big. So Timex wants you to get into computers, and for less than $100, that's right, $99.95 only, you can get a Timex Sinclair 1000 for your own home use. There is an optional cord that will connect it to a cassette recorder where you can record the things that you've put in there, your programs, on simple cassette tapes, realistic tapes, whatever you want, and then put them back. It's amazing. Computers are amazing. Get one today. So I hope you will check that out at your local, perhaps Radio Shack store, something like that. So that's what we're doing here today. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Timex. I appreciate it. So George H.W. Bush was first today. Let's see here. Flat Highway is here. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Okay, I got this line going good. Trucker Hershey is here. Possibly fell asleep on the keyboard. So George Costanza is here. What's going on? Cash is King Trucking. It's good to see you. I assume you'll be just dumping your your trailer forward, filling it with fuel to get that HOS exemption. So Joan Harper, it's good to see you. Eddie McFadden, what's happening? Kelly Patterson is here. Roger Penske is here. It's always a good season to be a wiener. Every season is good for that. Al Johns, it's good to see you. Midlife Trucker is here. Let me see. Where am I at here? Oh, let's see. As I lose my spot constantly. Creature 937, what's happening? So Kevin, talk about what 14 days? TJ Jones in the Bull of the Woods is here. John Staniszewski, happy Roller Wiener Monday. Hey, it's a great day to be a wiener. Van Priss, what's going on? Adam Wayne, it's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Don't I wish? All right, back for another Monday. For everything that is going on, Brian Walker ran over to Aladdin's Prayer Carpet this morning at the truck stop. Where is Aladdin's Prayer Carpet? What truck stop is that? Alexandra Lynn Pocher. Alexandra, let's see, where am I going? Oh, it's hot. Yeah, it's super sticky here. I don't know where you are, but holy mackerel, the last couple of days have been super hot. So, yikes. It's super, it's arid extra dry day. That's what I say. Jordan Shackelford, what an epic intro. Well, I don't know. I try to get a quote every week, but thank you. Paul Harrison, Texas getting loaded for Riverside. 1,500 miles. Love it. That's what I'm saying, and that's what companies are talking about too. There's some shorter runs coming up for driver lifestyle, and I don't know if I approve of that. Oh, I approve, like anybody cares what I approve of, but I don't know about that for over the road. I mean, if you're going to be on the road, let's get some miles. You're getting paid by the mile. I want more miles. So I don't think that's going to do good. I wouldn't like that on the road. Night Ranger. Oh, tired of getting something bad inside. Something needs to be done about the industry. Waiting for a drop and hook. Trailers are not ready. Yeah, you should be getting paid for that time. That's the solution, or at least part of the solution. I agree. And I do a drop and hook, and sometimes the trailer isn't ready. Rare, maybe once every couple weeks, but I agree with you. And you should get paid for that time. If the trailer's not ready, you should be getting paid. That's the solution, I think, part of it. I don't think you'd feel as bad about it if you got paid, right? Let's see. Anyone here? Earl Nightingale speak. Sounds like he has a mouthful of roller wieners. Not in a long time, right? Used to do a radio show a long time ago. They replayed him on WBBM in Chicago for a while. So, no, it's just King Truck 73 in New York. It's a HUD sticker time of day. I know I'll still see trucks with those stickers on them, like, yikes. Nice day, though, 73. Going to be super hot here. We're looking at 90s the next few days, so get those tank tops out. I'm ordering McDonald's to my truck. Oh, what are you going to Uber Eats it to your truck? Flavio is here, checking in from North Carolina. Hello, what's happening? What's happening in North Carolina? Hope they don't give me a doctor before it gets here. Yeah, what? That would stink, right? You're already there. Alexander, didn't I pass you, Cash King truck going down the interstate? I don't know. 5,000 sign-up bonus to work for Western Petroleum in Phoenix. Oh, that's not bad. What is it? What is the time, though? I think ABF, as far as I'm concerned, is the only one giving a sign-on bonus because they give it to you on your first check. If the sign-on bonus takes a year, it's not exactly a sign-on bonus, I think. It's more of a retention bonus. So I think they word it wrong. But, yeah, how long does it take to get the $5,000? I mean, 600, $400 a month? That wouldn't be bad. Midlife Trucker Commodore 64. I have a working Commodore 64 with the 1541 disk drive and the monitor. So I still have, I actually had a Timex Sinclair, my very first computer in high school. I begged my dad, and he finally bought this Timex Sinclair for me. Most amazing thing ever. I knew then. I thought, oh, you know what? These are going to really go somewhere. This might actually take off. Had a membrane keyboard. There were no actually keys on it. Pressed into a membrane, but I could type then. I had taken typing, so probably the best idea I ever had. I'd like the Bose heated and cooled with surround sound. Paul Harris. Yeah, here they just give you the basic seat. The new trucks have heat and cool, but I think that's just because it comes with it. Would that keep you at a company? Would that keep you there? Cassius King Truck. I'm holding up a Rolex computer. Oh, that'd be sweet, wouldn't it? Handmade. Yeah, nice. Acceleration rules driving, but here, hey, at least you're here. The internet is a fad. I wouldn't commit much thought to it. Cash King Trucking. I'm waiting to see what happens with it. I don't know if it's going to stick around or not. I'm not sure. Back then, right? No internet yet on that Timex Sinclair, hooked up to your TV, hooked up to the TV. People don't remember that, right? Go flick the switch back there, turn that on, and you had the screen. Oh, amazing! Most amazing thing. I have a 480-mile bobtail today, picking up a new trailer, Van Prist. That's not bad. Are you coming here to Lafayette? Please come and take some of these new trailers out of town. You can't even get around town. They're all over the place. So I hope you're coming here to get a new trailer for I don't care what company. Just take any one of the trailers that are here. Night Ranger came out of New York City, went under a bridge that said 12-3, made it safely. Yeah, exactly. They do that. From what I understand, this is what I always heard as a rumor about Chicago, the same thing, that they put lower markings on the bridges to keep trucks out of that area, even though you could fit under the bridges. There was a bridge map you used to get on a piece of paper that showed the actual height of the bridges, no matter what the sign said. In Chicago, I would get one. As soon as one came out, I would get one from running around locally, and had every bridge in town marked. So Mark's in the north talking about heat waves. Midnight Trucker. It's hot here, man. 90s is hot. That's sweat weather right there. These people are needy. Mr. Beaner's here. How about to leave the house going to Pennsylvania with 9 drops of furniture? Wow. 9 drops. That's 2 weeks worth of work right there. 80 in Alabama, but always hot there. And sweaty. They never seem to sell wieners next to the tacos. I guess it must be a gender thing. Well, sometimes they don't want to interact, and sometimes they do. Thoughts and prayers to flatbed drivers in this heat. It's hot, hard work, Texas Trader, right? Same for the winter time. Just as bad. Wind, bad. It's hard work. Let's be honest about it. Flatbed drivers do some work. It's Mr. Plow. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very appreciated over here in the heat. Joan Harper, where do I work? Well, that's the thing of it, keeping the company out of your videos is probably a good idea. So if you're going to do a bunch of videos. So I don't mention the company, just keeps them out of. They don't get to have a say in what you say. And as this is probably one of the last shows on live shows without even ads. So I keep them out of there. I don't recruit for the company. If you like your place, recruit for it. But I'm just not doing it. I'm keeping them out of there. That's how we do it here. Cash King Trucking 90 in Indiana. Get the Gold Bond powder ready. Well, if I could reach it, I've got a thing of it. And like I tell people all the time, always powder your shoes. Keep your feet dry. Super most important thing, dry feet so you don't get foot rot or whatever. My feet dry, smell like a baby's bottom even after a day of work. So sun's out, guns out. Exactly. Buns out. That'll be work later. L. Johns, what if there's a guarantee of a certain amount, like a per day or per trailer? I'm struggling with this because that's how my company does it. Yeah, I don't mind a daily rate. But look, this is what I think about the daily rate, which we have here, right? I got a daily guarantee. But if anything happens beyond a normal day's work, I get paid extra for it. So if I got to sit around and wait, I can get paid extra for it. If there's a breakdown, I get paid immediately and extra for it. All those things are extra. A daily rate is for a day of work, a normal day of work. So if I'm like, oh, well, my trailer's 3 hours or whatever, that's 3 extra hours of work. That's 3 extra hours of pay here. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. And so that a driver doesn't think like they're working longer and they're not getting paid for it. Because say they get whatever, $200, $400 a day, $1,000, doesn't matter. That's for a normal day's work. Any extra work should be paid extra. Ellen, help out a new driver. How does one decide on a clearance with a rise on a road if it's safe to cross without cutting huge up in the landing gear? Some tips. Well, some bridges you just know, and other ones you're going to have to creep up to if you can't decide. I mean, if you can't decide, don't run up there like some of these drivers at 40 miles an hour. Just, get up there slowly. We used to put antennas that were 13.6 or 13.7 on the trucks, really. So if you heard that thing bouncing around, you knew you had a problem. But that's hard to do anymore. You just got to creep up to it. Bridges are super tough. Don't hit one. I'd rather back up 3 miles than run into a bridge. It's Mr. Plow. Hey, Mark, the manhole was packed front to back last week. Boy, you were there. You saw that. That was something. It was hot in there, too, for this same thing. Cassius King Trucking. Not sure if that was me, but probably was. You've been running nonstop. Yeah, for what? A year now, right? Or close to a year? I mean, really, right? Seriously. Just about almost the whole time. I had the 1200 baud Commodore modem. Oh, nice. My Commodore did not have a modem. I didn't get a modem until I got a Windows computer, which would have been Windows 2000, I think, was the first one first operating system I had. Maybe Windows ME. No, Windows 3.11 workgroups for Windows. That one had a modem. It had a 7200 modem in it, but then I upgraded, went to Best Buy and got a 28.8 modem. It was the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life. Huge rains in Arizona. Roger Penske. Dry riverbeds flowing. Streets are flooded. Idiots trying to cross flooded roadways. Happens every time. Why are we doing this? Okay, do not cross a flooded roadway. Turn around, don't drown. Okay, thank you for the Indiana flood. I heard that on the radio here. Hey, Trucking Journeys, what's going on? Well, how's the motel life doing? Alexandra. Was a white Freightliner with a reefer. Driver was doing 62 on I-80. I don't know. I got around driver at 70. Dude looked like you. These people that talk about being needy at liquor stores. Yikes. Fleet Nav Systems. Hey, I'm here until 1. Hope you're all having a great week. Yeah, how's it up there? Is it hot, all the way up there? Yikes, it's a sweat fest here. Aviator truck. At least we know Al Gore Jr. invented the internet, but his father Al Gore invented the interstate. Yeah, absolutely. Without the two of them, how would we get around? How would we get information around, and how would we get ourselves around? I mean, all we can do is thank them. That's the least we can do. Cash King Trucking. I had internet in the 90s. Average 15 minutes to load AOL. I know. I'm with you. Probably 90, very early 90s, right? Not too long after it came out, I got the internet. And yeah, it took forever to get that loaded in there. You'd sign in and come back in a few minutes. It would still be trying to sign itself in. Oh my gosh. And you couldn't make a phone call, for those young people that don't know, because the internet took the phone line. Once they went to DSL, that was amazing because you didn't have to use the phone line. You could make a phone call on a phone. It used to be mounted to your wall. Columbia, Georgia, got a $5,000 sign-on bonus when I hired in here, but if I quit or got fired within 12 months, I'd have to pay it back. So I left the bank account for the first year. Really? Well, how long? I mean, did you get that right away then? So they pay that immediately? And and honestly, what would they do if somebody came in and then quit after a week? All they could do is keep a check. I guess they'd have to sue somebody. But if you got it right away, yeah, I consider that's a sign-on. But companies that pay it over a year, I've seen even 2 years. I don't think that's a sign-on. That's like a retention, so you won't leave. I get back from my vacation. What do you know? They routed me in the wrong order. I guess that's my welcome back. Yeah, don't ever leave again, they go. Yellow bridge signs account for snow. White are dead on accurate. Really? I don't know if there are any white bridge signs in Chicago. Maybe that's why, because it snows all the time. Adam Wayne. Turns out GP Transco does not have bereavement pay. I'm having to use vacation time to pay my bills instead of taking a vacation. Don't feel very respected. Is bereavement pay common? No, it actually isn't that common when you look at places, although places pay it. I would say less than half the places pay it, but it is paid. So it isn't like it's only one place paying it. I'm surprised, honestly, that they don't have it. But yeah, I guess they don't have it. I don't know their whole policy there. I'm sorry about that, too, to be honest with you. JC King, I sent an email about training from Facebook. You could have a discussion about training from Facebook. When you say drawbridge in Chicago, people pull out their guns and start shooting the bridge. Yeah, in Chicago. Remember, there's no crime there, though. The mayor, Lori Lightfoot, says, hey, Chicago is no worse than it's ever been. So that's great. Do you have to deliver furniture to houses or businesses? I don't. Oh, my God. I can't imagine doing that. J.B. Hunt's running ads for that everywhere. Final mile, deliver furniture in a straight truck. J.B. Hunt straight trucks. But you have to know how to hook up furniture, gas furniture, and all that stuff. Yeah. If you wear it, make it a parrot. Always get a parrot. Get that thing on your head, would you? Don't drive around on the phone. Don't hold your phone. That's a big ticket. Look, even this kid knows that. Why don't people know it? That's me as a baby right there. So people don't know that. Kelly Patterson, 90 and Muggy in Joliet. Yeah, what's going on in Joliet today? We're going to get up to that, too, here soon. What's up with the fountain drinks at the truck stops? It tastes like it's from recycled water. Yikes. Maybe they're saving water. I don't know about any of that. Yuck. Yellow bridge signs account for snow. Really? Is this a thing? This is a new thing. I didn't know that. I learned something today. Antonio, hey, Mark, my company was paying $22 an hour. Nice. I told them I wasn't happy with that. I would be looking for another job. Told them I want 25 and now make 25. That's pretty awesome. You don't ask, you don't get. That's awesome. Remember, if you do that, you got to be ready to leave. They might say, well, you know what? Hit the road. So you could have that other side of it. But I think that's pretty good. Just go in and say, you know what, I can do better. And if they want to keep you, that's pretty awesome. I think that's great. Robert Daniel, the reason why it's for repaving and snow is for the bridges marked lower in New York City and New York State. New pay package at Smith. $1,800 guarantee and starting at the end of July. Weekly 55 cents, bi-weekly 60 to 65 cents. That's super good. $1,800 guarantee. Can you imagine just a few years ago saying like, oh, we're going to get a $90,000 a year guarantee? Is crazy. AMP pump at Coinbase 2 times my money. Holy mackerel, I don't even know what we're talking about. That sounds extra to me. I worked for a company that had a great retention policy. It was called work or get fired. That's how it used to be, right? The tables have turned. Slowly they turned. Getting pushback from upper management about breakdown pay, Al Johns. It's not my driver's fault. Being in the middle of management isn't easy as I thought. Oh, right. You're going to get all the grief. Why is the management griping about it? You know, as a driver, go in there and tell them, look, the drivers need to be paid when they're at work. Just like a 15-year-old at Burger King. I love bringing up this 15-year-old that works at Burger King. If you worked at Burger King and the machine stopped working and they go, well, you all wait here, right? Well, we're going to get somebody in and fix these machines so we can get the store open. They got to pay all those people to sit there because they're at work. Not that they're not working. If they're at work and work tells them they got to stay at work, they should be paid. So that's what I think about breakdown pay. Because the machine breaks that the company gives you as an employee, you still need to be paid. That's their problem. Tell them to fix it. Roger Penske, some bridges in Chicago have changed clearances from when the layers of asphalt and everything and bricks and dead bodies are removed for repaving, and the signs were never changed. Dead bodies. This person's wearing a AC pin. What does that mean? Oh, forget about that. Mr. Bean will be done tomorrow and be back home in North Carolina Wednesday morning. Take the day off and leave on Thursday. Take off my stops in Pennsylvania Friday. It's a hot unload. It sounds like it's a hot unload. That sounds like too much work. George Costanza. We had a driver here at Mount lose his father while out on the road. He was in Washington. He's from Michigan. They gave him 2 options. He could either get a load to the house or they would fly him. That's pretty awesome. Right, get him back. But then do they have bereavement pay? Let's ask that. I mean, do people get bereavement pay? I get it. I've used it one time, so they do pay it. Always, if you wear it, make it a parrot. Keep that thing on your head, even while you're in the bathroom. He chose to fly out to get home sooner, but they would have had him home within a week. Yeah, it's up to him. That's a good idea. Did they pay him while he's home? Trucker Beetle Bailey is here. On the western side of the USA today, temperatures are nice. 75 with light rain. Oh, nice. I wish. You get back over here, I'm going to be sweating it up. Mountain Plane paid for the plane ticket there and back. Oh, they left the truck and just had him go back to it? That's pretty good. Julio's losing guaranteed pay but gaining 5 cents a good thing. It depends. It depends on the situation, right? On how many miles and stuff you get. I love guaranteed pay because I don't do much. So it would depend on, exactly what you're doing there. I still like a guarantee because you don't have to worry about, not making money for a day because of something that isn't your fault. Alan, how not to get landing gear stuck on railroad tracks if not posted low clearance? Well, that is a problem. I mean, that's a problem. You're going to have to eyeball. Some of this stuff is just eyeballing it. Seriously. I mean, where there's those tracks that go over the hills or whatever, anything like that, I try not to go over it. Just because I don't want to get stuck on it. And they're going to blame you, which I guess they rightly would kind of blame you for it. Where did I go off to? I lost my spot. Oh, I'm way behind. Sorry about that. I'm watching YouTube on my phone with no buffering. That's pretty good. Nice to have a new phone. Probably an Android phone here, too. Watching some of these trucks park at a truck stop, I'm wondering if they have a creep gear or a gear creep. This international I'm driving does not creep. I'll tell you that. I'm hearing a lot about this new training deadline. Are we trying to make everybody go to community college to get a CDL? I don't understand it. It isn't going to be as big a deal as they think. It's just the training, on who can do the testing. And there's no minimum standards for anything still. It isn't as big a deal as people are going to say. And I think you're much better off going to a community college or something because you can get it paid for by the state. So you don't have to worry about paying for it. That's much more important. Roger Moore. How is I-68 worse than 64? Really? Usually going, 68 is no great shakes. Even so, going across there, kind of up and down. But thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Where am I at again? Holy mackerel. One of my customers on the route is retiring at the end of this week. I'm happy because the drive there is way out there, but sad because I'll miss the guy. Yeah, I like going to the same places all the time. Remember the days of CompuServe with that weird ID they gave you? It was like 9 numbers. Oh, I never had CompuServe. I was an AOL kind of person, but I do remember hearing about CompuServe. My apologies for being late. I appreciate that you admit it at least. What do you think of yellow and ABF freight? I think it pays good, and you're going to get free health insurance. So I like that. Let's see. Good afternoon, GP Transco. It's good to see you here on the Teal cruise here. I started working at Holland. Doplo, really? They're debating if the pension will stay in the Romulus Michigan driver's account. They might lose it. It's bad trucks, a dirty warehouse. Bad trucks and a dirty warehouse. Nice. So free health care, though, right? That was part of the deal there always, right? Pension. Y'all be careful out there. Remember that service truck is to be 30 feet or at least 2 service trucks back from the back of your rig with the proper cones out. Deep prints. Yeah, usually they're parked in front of the truck, I guess, to fix it or whatever. You don't see the lights. I wish they had a blinking light they would put behind the truck. Loves Diet Mountain Dew is the worst. Yuck. The wife likes that stuff, Diet Mountain Dew. Yuck. Don't you just love seeing trailers drive around with half a trailer tail still attached? Yeah, half of it will be popped out. Some of them have a sign that say automatically open to 35. So maybe that's what happened. It partially popped out. I've had a few of them with tails. They never automatically open. So, and I love when I see somebody that's buying their own fuel not open those tails up themselves. They have those things open. Diet Mountain Dew is gross in general, Alexander. I agree. Right, the wife likes drinking it, not for me, thanks. You run out of hours because dispatch gives you so many pickups and deliveries. That stinks. I never want to run out of hours. Holy mackerel. That week I had almost 50 hours a couple of weeks ago. Was crazy. They're doing that in the UK now. They're giving people extra hours to drive. Nobody wants that. Cash King Trucking, I prefer 64 over 68 any day. 68 burns me out. Feel free to tip your host, you fellas scallywags. I appreciate that. And you prefer 64 over 68? Really? It's 68. I'll just stay on the interstate, and now no shifting, so no problem. But yeah, the hours, no way. I traveled up I-81 this past weekend and saw a service truck parked with his tires out on the interstate and was right up on the bumper. Please be safe. some of those people need to be trained a little bit too. Of course, I've seen these goofy road workers. They always say, don't hit road workers, be safe around. I think one guy stepped out in front of me, not this year, right, but last year, stepped right out in front of me. If I wouldn't have been watching him, boom, I would have clipped that guy. I'm like, come on. And they probably say, see, here's another truck killing another road worker. Valerie Peterman, 85 South, North Carolina, multi-car accident. Car rolled over in a semi-truck. Nice. Just happened. Sweet. Exit 27. Avoid that, everyone. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Paul Vines. Hello. Thank you for being here. GP Transco. At the moment, we do not have bereavement pay. It's fairly uncommon. Yeah, it's not. I don't find half the people having it. We're looking into it with the insurance company. I want a job where I can just work 40 hours a week with good pay. Dope. Well, they're out there. They're out there. I do 35, 37 hours a week. I don't make as much as everybody on here, though. Okay, people work more than me. They generally make more than me. I do better an hour, probably, but they make more a week. For tire service in Chicago, Padilla Tire, 5 stars. Ask for Gladys. Hey, is Gladys? Can I talk to Gladys? Tell them Trucking Answer sent you. We are sorry that it took one single thing for you to not feel respected, GP Transco. I mean, how many people have bereavement pay? It sounds like a curious question for me. I do get it here, 3 days. They can pay you 3 days here, where you don't have to use your vacation. Then you can use vacation for more days, and that's what I did. I took a week off when my dad died, so I got 3 days, and then took 2 more days, which probably what most people do, and then came back the next week. So I got 1,200 miles last week and still got 1,800 gross after taxes, and took home $1,375. You took home more than $1 a mile as a company driver. That's pretty good, and you drove less miles than me. That is pretty good. Holy mackerel. Shima Freight Lines in Sumner, Washington has bereavement pay. Kelly, all right, in Sumner, Washington. I guess they got a new song coming out called The Wreck of the Chicago by Lori Lightfoot, Aviator Trucker. She is a mess, okay? That people tolerate her is ridiculous. That people tolerate all the crime there is even more ridiculous. Stop tolerating crime. It's time to take the streets back. Michael Muller coming to you from the truck show in Hampshire, Illinois. There's a truck show in Hampshire, Illinois? Where's Hampshire, Illinois? Welcome to climate change. Hey, I'm in for it. If it keeps me warm all year, I could tolerate the heat. Steel Horse also gets 3 days of bereavement pay. So it's kind of the same thing as here, 3 days, and then most people probably take 2 more days. And they didn't give me any grief about the extra 2 days. I'm like, look, just give me the week, whatever. I'll come back, and they're like, no problem. So it wasn't any issue at all. Because you can't give me 2 weeks notice to take a vacation because people don't plan on. I'm going to be dead in 2 weeks, so they didn't give me any grief about it, which I liked. I mean, that's not the time you want to feel bad about the place you work. George Costanza, the bereavement airline ticket episode. Oh, yeah. Thinking back, Kevin, love the Sunday rant. Thank you very much. This kind of stuff bothers me. So I'm glad that I can get it out on Sunday and maybe commiserate a little bit with some people. I get bereavement pay 3 days at $37 an hour times what my average hours on those days were for the previous weeks. Luke, that's pretty good. So 3 days again. So 3 days seems to be the common thing at 37 hours. Nice. So I would just get 3 days of my average pay, whatever I get for vacation. Steelhorse, 3 days, mother, father, or child, also for step parents. Okay. I think here it says, direct relative, and they want you to bring the obit in here, but I didn't have to. They didn't give me, they didn't say anything about it. I'm like, say what happened? Dad died, time off, there, no problem, and that was 1 day for grandmother or grandfather. Really? So, just your grandparent. You only need Monday off for that. So, look, I guess at least it's something. That's something. 1 day. Real management, Al John says it's built into the daily rate. Yeah, no, it isn't. Try that for the mechanics there if you have your own shop. My guys spend 8 hours, which is normal, but we sometimes work less or more. We all signed up for the day rate. I'm struggling. Look, I agree with that. The drivers sign up for it. I agree, but I don't like it. The drivers shouldn't agree to it. The day rate is for a day's work. So if there's a problem, that's not the driver's fault. The driver shouldn't be the one penalized. The more I work, more hours I might work, the less I make an hour. So that's something that I just don't like. And by the way, drivers don't like it. So the company should really think about, how that impacts drivers. Driver that has a couple of issues in a week, say they put extra 10, 15 hours in for something and don't get any extra money, that gets pretty aggravating really fast, especially now when we see places advertising, $30 an hour, which I just saw in Indianapolis. So it gets pretty aggravating. 15-year-old who works at Burger King will have Burger King shut down for the child labor law. Not in Indiana. In Indiana in the summer, you can work at 15 years old. Isn't that great? You can. For 30 hours, 32 hours. That's why I always use a 15-year-old here, because in Indiana, that 15-year-old may be the one serving you your fries out the drive-thru. I don't think Melton has bereavement pay. I didn't see that in the handbook, but the fact that they were willing to fly him home at their expense and then park the truck was something. Yeah, anything like that where they'll help you out on a problem is pretty helpful. Where they're like, we'll just take care of it. D. Prince, your local truck tire shops are way understaffed. If you know of someone that needs a job, this is a good place to work. Worker shortages across the board. Yeah, they're tired of working there. Ha ha. Nice. What do you think about ABF and Holland? Love it, right? Free insurance. Remember Prodigy? Prodigy was another competitor, right, to AOL. But I was on the AOL bandwagon, but I remember Prodigy. ABF is running this 10 to 11,000, depending on the city, sign-on right now. First check, which is amazing. An hourly, probably plus overtime, should be a good rate for, the terminal to terminal. Depends where you live and what they're doing. Alexandra's got to run. Take care. All right. See you soon. Thanks for being here. George Costanza, I'm taking home time Wednesday through Sunday. I have my Aussie going to the groomers and vet on Thursday. My Twig appointment that day, too. Friday is dental surgery. Saturday is Aussie's birthday party. The dog has a birthday party? Okay. Look, I'm in. Dental surgery. I had a random breathalyzer today. As expected, 0. Kelly, I hate those. In fact, I guess there's nothing you can do about it. Glad you got a 0 on it. That's good. Happy Roller Arena Monday. Kelterus Who Travels is here. It's good to see you. Mr. Beener, Interstate 81 is getting worse by the minute. So many people traveling. I know. All the interstates built today should be like 6 lanes each way. It's ridiculous how much traffic there is. We got spoiled last year when there was nobody out. Now it's like, oh my gosh, where are all these people coming from? Don't take a breathalyzer at the manhole. They go in here and shut the door. And you go, isn't this a bathroom stall? You're like, just shut up and go in there. A breathalyzer will be coming through the wall in a minute. I'll take 81 over 75 in Knoxville, although they're working on it finally. I have John Stanczewski has bereavement pay, but of course I worked on a Department of Energy contract. All right, well, you still got it. So some people are getting it. Fleet Nav Systems going to head out. Have a great week and be safe. All right, it's good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Cassius King Trucking. I've been flirting with Pete Buttigieg trying to get I-81 widened to 3 lanes. I wish they were all 4. Any new interstate should probably be 4 lanes each way. They're widening 65 here. It's going to be 3 lanes all the way through Indiana eventually. They're trying to get it wider, but by the time they get that done, it's going to need a 4th lane. Proper terminology is a Mountain Dew Shame Reader Trucker. Yeah. Adam Wayne at GP Transco, it's a big deal seeing as we live for months at a time in the trucks. Guess I'm not that upset if it's normal not to have it, but GP is better than average. Lead the way. I don't find that it's half the places. Any extra benefit, of course, is a good deal. GP Transco, quick shameless plug. One of our drivers, Melissa Reichman, had her first book published. Really? Mother Trucker, it's quite good. Check it out on Amazon. Oh, on Amazon. Sweet. That's awesome. What is it about? What's the book about? These keep voting for Beetlejuice. Can't figure it out. Kelterus or Trails. Yeah, I'm glad she got her hair done when no one else could go out, too. That was always good because she said she had to get her hair done because she's in public. It's not climate change. It's geoengineering, this weather warfare. If it's keeping me warm, I'm in for it, We're in talks with our insurance carrier at GP Transco. We'll update you once we have more information. Texas Detroit, I've never seen bereavement pay offered at any company. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not super common, but I do see it. And as we see from people saying up here, yeah, it's out there. Bereavement pay is out there. Depends on the company and the size of the place. If you work for some dude that's got 3 trucks, and the newest one is a 1986 International, probably no bereavement pay. And that's where most drivers work. Most drivers work, 90%, 80% of drivers work at a company with less than 20 trucks. So it's unusual to work for a larger place. I live in Joliet, and I see low bridges being hit there at least once a month. I'm sure. Chicago was a total bridge disaster. I was happy to have a city flyer, which was 12.6. Roger Penske. People put up with the crime in Chicago because it's all in the ghetto. On a cold and gray Chicago morning, right, a poor baby is born in the ghetto. Well, the whole town's turned into a ghetto, though. I mean, there's no good section of town anymore. The whole place is a disaster area. The only good place is you got to live in West Chicago, all the way out 88. Hampshire, Illinois is exit 42 on I-90. Oh, there's a TA Love Speedway and a Road Ranger. Oh, it's way up there. Okay. I didn't know there was a truck show there. Costco offers bereavement pay. Costco. For their drivers. 3 days to be used within 1 year of the death. So you can use it and as an offset. Don't most people use it for a funeral? See, you're like, well, you know what? It's been 6 months. Like 3 days off. I guess you could. I thought most people would use it, right then. Tow truck tried to pull me over Missouri. A tow truck. Followed me for 6 miles with the lights and siren on. Till the cops pulled us over. I'm not pulling over for a tow truck. Why is a tow truck of a siren? Midlife trucker, if you're on day rate and finish early, do you give the money back? No, that's their problem. I do what they said. It isn't a time. I don't work at a time. That's the thing about the day rate. I don't do a time. They go here, drop this trailer, bring another one back. Bingo. So that amount of time is paid. If there's an issue beside that, I get more money because it takes longer. Okay, so coming back early, I'm not back early. It takes the same amount of time every day. So doing that is what the day rate is. If I have a breakdown, that takes me longer. Okay, that's something that I didn't have any control over. It's their equipment that they gave me. They need to fix it. Just like the 15-year-old at Burger King who gets paid for all the time that they're at work, that the company keeps them at work. Simple as that. Same as a day rate. So I go down there to the natty, come back, that pays a rate. Okay, if there's any issues, it pays more. Takes me longer. Simple as that. GMA gave me 1 hour per 40, worked up to 160 hours. Wow. 4 weeks, that's 4 weeks, basically. Can't imagine. I'm still thinking about this tow truck with a siren. Adam Wayne, I guess I had a false perspective coming from law enforcement to trucking. Working for government a week, bereavement, no questions was the norm. Well, government is going to have all kinds of days off and stuff like that. I agree, probably. Yeah, I mean, Department of Transportation in Indiana is running ads right now. Hey, all benefits plus 37.5 hours a week. That's what it says in their ads. So come work here at 37 and a half hours a week. So I work for a company that switched to D-rate once. All of a sudden, that's what's included in a day changed drastically. What the heck? Switched to D-rate once. Hey, Mark and everyone from St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm on my way to Alabama. Sam, what is going on in Alabama? What goes to Alabama? Hearing people complain about bereavement pay really kills me, aviator trucker. I remember the band Prodigy, holy mackerel. Too hard for me. Neil Diamond. More Neil Diamond on this side of it. Unfortunately, insurance companies that work with trucking companies do not provide it. It seems to take extra negotiation, but we're working towards it. Hey, negotiations. Maybe call Geico. I heard if you call them, you can save a bunch of money in just 15 minutes. Bar None was a company that gave the sign on the first week. Just be there 90 days and you're good. Okay, yeah, then it's a sign-on, right? A sign-on is when you sign on, you get the money. Not when I'm going to sign on today and then next July I get the rest of the money. That's not exactly a sign-on bonus. That's why I don't like companies calling it a sign-on if they don't give it to you right away. And I always said, I don't like the sign-ons anyways. You may get drivers that come there just for the sign-on bonus, and that's not really who you want. So I wish companies would stop giving sign-on bonuses, to be honest with you. George Costanza, with your net zero, you got 40 hours of internet free a month. Oh, net zero, remember that? My family wouldn't buy internet because we were poor. So that's all I had for the month, so I had to ration. Got to ration at 40 hours out because we're poor. I did not have internet growing up as a kid because they didn't have the internet yet. So the internet I had, I've paid for. Love the podcast. Plus, for not seeing your face, it's Mr. Plow. That's for those of you that don't have a podcast, go find it in your local podcasting store. And the best thing about it is you don't have to look at me. You just get it through your ear hole. No seeing me required. That is the best part of the podcast. So thank you for that. I used to go to the local library, spend hours there on the internet. George Costanza, that's correct. You can still do that. For people that don't know, libraries have internet. I've been at the library here, and it's fast. I speed tested it. Oh, it's fast. It's fast. I'm like, at least my tax dollars are going to something. This is some good internet you got here. Management is about as useless as a fork in a sugar bowl sometimes. That's true. And with the more layers of it, the worse it gets. The bigger the place, the worse it gets. I-80 between Laramie and Rollins was terrible with traffic yesterday. Really? They're paving and had the right lane closed. Took an hour and 10 minutes to go 20 miles. That stinks. Out there, that's when you figure you're going to be running. High speed limit, let's roll. The state symbol of Indiana is the construction barrel. Yeah, especially now. I went around that construction the other day on 74, which is outside Indiana, going towards Cincinnati. Oh my gosh, that was a huge backup. People don't know you can get off at the 103 if you're going towards the Natty. Get off and take the northbound, the road on the northbound, all the way down and get back onto the 116. That's how I got around it. So I recommend people do that. I'm cruising along down the service road. Everybody's stuck in traffic. I'm like, am I the only one that runs traffic? Howard Hulk, great show. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do what I can out here. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate it. Chima is about the same size as GP Transco. All right, there's just not a lot of large places out there. The book is about GP Transco. The book is about how it's not too late to become a professional truck driver, what it's like to do it as a mother, and overall her experience with the job. That's pretty awesome. All right. What is not too late, since you must say in the book? And I agree with that. If you can pass the physical, you can get a job. Got a truck full of Brazilian plywood looking sexy. Wow. Is each piece of it have a thong on? That's something. We have mandatory burrito pay in Arizona. That'd be great. You're off for 3 days. Here's 3 burritos. It's an emergency vehicle, Missouri. They shouldn't have a siren. Holy mackerel. If you could start over at another company, which would you choose? I don't know. It depends now. Depends if you get to remember what you want or not, I don't know. That's a tough one to say because, looking back on it, when I started, not long after I started driving, I got hired at Roadway, this place called Roadway, and sort of hired. I went to orientation, and then when they talked about, how it worked with the seniority board, and it was going to be probably a year before you got a regular route, and we would call you, I'm stupid, I'm 22 or whatever, 21, 22, and I'm like, forget this. I probably would have stayed there. Probably should have managed if I stayed there all these years. How much I'd be making? Boy, I'd be doing great. Now barely scraping by. Every hourly trucker makes less than me with percentage. Every hourly job doesn't mean you'll make a lot. That's correct. Hourly jobs don't mean you'll make a lot. That's true. It depends, though. I'm talking, people on the road per hour make less than someone local per hour because of all the extra hours that you put in. That's what I'm saying. People make more than me because they work more than me. You'd get into politics, Joe Schmo. I tried that. Didn't go anywhere. What's up, seat warmers? Oh, yeah, Captain Flatbed. We'll be turning those on in a couple months, too. I'm in a Walmart distribution center in Alabama. About the only thing there is Sam. Yeah, every 20 feet there's another one to fill all those Walmart stores. Sweet and Sassy Mother Trucker is Smokey and the Bandit meets Bridesmaid and filled with comedy, emotion, and some embarrassing adventures across America. Really? Well, that's a great blurb right there. Wow. Author Missy Reichman draws from her own life experiences in this hilarious, heartfelt book about rediscovering yourself. Wow. Now that is some writing going on. I'm waiting on a rate con. All right. How long does that take? That is a good question. I like retention bonuses and raises, Chad Johns. That's true. That's true. Look, there's another one with a retention bonus. But they can't say, come and work here and we'll give you $10,000 over 2 years as a sign-on. I don't think that's a sign-on. A sign-on you get right away. Like here, you're signed on, here's money. Not, we'll give you money in 2 years. That's it. That literally is a retention bonus. Some very few states consider tow trucks emergency vehicles, lights and sirens. It really goes to their head. Yeah, I can imagine a tow truck driver with a siren. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking of buying a new truck. Joe, I just need to get Trucking Answers with Mark, the most generous host to pay for it. Yeah, we'll set up a GoFundMe for that. Get a brand new truck. How about 150 grand now? The libraries in Houston are just homeless cooling centers in the summer. It's getting to that, I'm sure. See, people got to go somewhere. We'd like to do, only there were jobs for people to do. That's the thing of it. We'd like to do 3 giveaways of the book Mother Trucker, if that is okay with you. Yeah. How does that, is that book get delivered by ebook, or how's that? Is that an actual book? Anyone get messed up by Mississippi Bridge being out of Memphis? Oh my gosh, the bridge. Let me get I-40. This is the actual quote. The I-40 bridge. We are this is the state now. We are relatively confident that we will have at least a partial reopening by the end of July. That's the quote from them. Does that sound great? That sounds great. Dinner pole, Waffle House, Denny's, or Huddle House? Oh, I love the Waffle House. Just bought a green APU out of Lamont, Illinois, south of Chicago. Excellent service. So, batteries, right? Construction at the end of the Ohio Turnpike, 5 miles before Indiana. They do this stuff during the day, and it just messes everything up. I want a company to have roller wiener Monday pay. Yeah, why doesn't a company pay for free roller wieners? They ought to do that. In my hometown, I use the library internet to play Pokemon Go. It's fast enough now to play internet gaming. I vote Waffle House, George Costanza. I agree with you. Okay, so about the tow trucks with the lights and sirens, yeah, they're allowed to run them, but only if the police request that they run emergency to the scene of a wreck. It's still ridiculous. I'm not moving over for a tow truck. All right? Tow truck. They're not allowed to just turn their lights and siren on for no reason. Yeah, but they probably do. Give some guy in a tow truck lights and siren? Oh my gosh, you might as well give him one of them things that sticks to the top of his Torino. Schuster Roadway. I worked there. I got hired there and made it to orientation there, at which time they talked about what the schedule would be. That it's 2-hour call in, and it's 24 hours a day, and it would take a year to get an actual schedule. And if they didn't call you that day, that was your day off. Stuff like that. And I thought, forget it, never went back. So should have stayed there. Any thoughts on paper transport? I don't like the fact that they use this, job behaviors quiz to try to get drivers rather than actually talking to drivers. These job behaviors things, which I think it's at truckinganswersnation.com/job behaviors. You can go see all the questions. There's 100 questions. You're going to have to figure out which question, how to answer it right. And if you don't, they just don't hire you and don't tell you what the problem is. I love it. George Costanza, always remember, if you're going to a new company, find someone to give you a referral bonus. Every trucker out there needs more money. Oh, if you can find someone that's doing the bonus and they get it and you get it, yeah, not a bad idea, right? Get that referral, and thank you very much for that. Some of them are hundreds and some of them are, in the thousands of dollars. There's probably a driver on YouTube talking about the company you want to go to. Hourly jobs are more about home time. I do miss the road, but I miss my family, my bed, mowing the lawn more. Yeah, exactly, Al Johns, exactly. Hourly jobs are about home time, and that's what the whole industry is saying now, that they're looking at more home time for drivers because they can't get people to go out on the road. I agree. In Mississippi, they call them sirens. The book is a softback. Really? We'll be delivered to the house, 3 winter stores in a box. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we could certainly do that. We can do a book giveaway. They need to tear it down and redo it. I guess the money went into too many pockets. Now they need proper funding. Waffle House is what cool kids call the Waffle House. I love that place. Wahoo. Because they don't say full words. I mean, that tow truck could be someone's last hope to survive a crash. Never know the situation. It could be, but I mean, you're putting too much power in somebody's hands, basically. I was supposed to go through Memphis, but I'm going through Nashville instead, 10 miles shorter anyway. Go the shortest way. Scattered, covered, smothered, and topped. Hero units in Georgia are commissioned offers. What's a hero unit? The company I work for are offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus they spread out within a year. Mr. Weiner, I would tell him, look, that's not a sign-on bonus, that's a retention bonus. That's literally what it is. Because they know if somebody's 2 weeks from that next amount of money, they're not going to quit. They're retaining them with the money. They're not signing them on with the money. Sorry about that, but that's going to be Arkansas releasing a statement like that. Yeah, that's the statement for the bridge. I love it. Relatively confident. Oh, that sounds great. Cheeseman gives the recruited driver $3,000 and gives me $5,000 for recruiting them. Wow, you get more money than the person they're actually signing on? See, that's how much it costs companies to recruit drivers. And, rather than spending all that to recruit people, they could spend that in extra, seats like these companies are talking about, or other things that drivers actually want. They never ask the drivers of their company what they want, or a lot of companies don't. They should ask the drivers and then actually do the stuff that the drivers say. Companies are now finding that out. Oh, we started asking drivers what they wanted. Oh, really? Well, imagine that. Because each company could have its own issues that need to be solved. They could solve some stuff can be solved without any money. If there's some issue that a lot of drivers complain about, go solve it. It might not even cost anything. In Mississippi, we call them sirens. Calterusu travels. Given the tow truck lights and sirens, going to give me a taser. Everyone's going to get it. Yeah, every run's going to be an emergency. And I don't think people are going to pull over. If I was in traffic and there was a tow truck with their lights on, I don't think I would pull over. It's not an ambulance. Here are all the highway help and tow trucks. Nice. So everybody's a hero. Everybody's a hero now. Anyone going to GP 1669 is your employee ID. We'll split the bonus. Nice. Christopher Murphy, going to be a good August. Company gave an across-the-board increase to 71 cents. That's pretty high. That's one of the higher ones that I hear out here, 71 cents. I see places, certainly nobody's under 50 now. Any decent place, I don't think, but 71's doing good. Those heroes can be in some dangerous situations. They can. They can be in a dangerous situation. Especially in Atlanta. Well, everybody's in a dangerous situation in Atlanta. It's like driving through Chicago. Terrible. Canadian Tanker Yanker. Hello, Mark. Hey, what's going on? It was bad when I lived there. When I moved there for my first trucking job, the woman said, don't look at people sitting on their porch. She goes, if you're walking home, because I didn't have a car yet. Don't look at people. She goes, just walk down the street. Nobody will bother you. She goes, but don't look at people. Don't be moving your hands around. I swear to you, this is a landlord. Just walk home. She goes, people sitting around are gangs and stuff, so don't look at people. You'll be fine. I'm like, oh, all right. I didn't think anything about it then because I was an idiot. Cheeseman just had their third pay raise this year. That's awesome. Truckers Coach is joining us on Wednesday this week. Finally. I thought he was already there. Didn't we say something? Oh, holy mackerel. Well, that's going to be awesome. I kind of thought he'd already been there for a while. But holy moly. Just went through the Craigslist listing. 72 cents is the new norm in Georgia. As high as 85 cents. Some of these that are super high, you got to look out for. They're $10.99. Or there's some other issue. I've seen some where it's like 85 cents, but only loaded miles. Empty miles pay nothing. So really look into this stuff. 85 cents, plus if loaded miles are nothing and 20% of your miles are deadhead. I mean, if deadhead miles are nothing, that's not 85 cents a mile anymore, is it? So can be a catch. Really drill down and really whack them on the head with questions. Mr. Bean, I know. I've been here 10 years and love it. They treat their drivers great. I really like the profit sharing bonus we get. Yeah, always, as long as they make a profit, right? GP Transco, right, $10.99. Or there's some other issue where deadhead miles are not paid, or that's the only pay you get. Loaded miles pay this, but nothing else pays anything. No breakdown, no detention, no stops, no nothing. They're like, it's all included, right? So it just depends. If a driver, Doug Andrews, recruits a driver, the recruiting driver gets paid after the new driver's first load, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty common. And I've sent people up in the Northwest to Andrews. Yeah, absolutely. That's how a lot of places do it. They make the driver pull the first load. Mob, they're all W-2 established companies. All right. Type of freight and what are the companies? It's some of them are what I see on the East Coast, and then some are like from Bensonville area, whatever up there. They all congregate in the same place. Over the road or regional, local. I wouldn't want a local job at 85 cents a mile even. Who wants to do local jobs per mile? Would love to do some research on it. I will say GP Transco, there are these places that advertise this, but what you're going to have to do if you actually wanted to look into this is find a place that's 80 cents or something like that and call them as a driver and say you want to work there. And then you find out all these other things usually, like it doesn't pay. I've seen this where it doesn't pay empty miles at all. Or the first 100, I've seen this, the first 100 miles of your run don't pay anything. I love that. This pays this after 100 miles. Why do 100 miles? What are you talking about? So when it comes down to it, I've never found it where once they get really high like that, it doesn't come out that way. Best part is that the increases, my scheduled increase will start to also happen. Oh, so you already got a regular increase, 73 cents. Man, you people with all your money. It's going to be all Bentleys in these parking lots of these lots. It used to be on the parking lot of a road company was all junk bombs sitting out there. Now it's all Bentleys and all super nice cars. Aston Martins are sitting out there. Boy. I need absolution from my sins of watching Swift get stuck in a dusty lot and not being able to get out and enjoying his suffering too much. Donkey bite. You know, don't drive anywhere where you don't think you can get out of. If you got to walk the area first or whatever, getting stuck, some companies record that as an accident. So that could go down and you don't even know it. And they think, oh, don't worry about it. We'll send somebody. I'll tell you, in that situation, I'd pay a tow truck myself to get myself out of that and learn from it, rather than calling Swift and tell the tow truck guy to shut the heck up about it, and I'll pay you cash money and be done with it so it doesn't go on your record, and learn a lesson. That's a good lesson to learn, rather than having it on your record. The Minutemen tow trucks have sirens in Chicago. Don't they say AAA on them or something like that? Those Minutemen tow trucks. And I didn't know they had sirens. Or, yeah, they say something. Insurance, some kind of insurance or something. Dr. Me, I'm with a small company, 2 trucks. That's small. I receive 30% of what the load pays, and they send me the rate confirmation so I know that they're being honest. Always get the rate confirmation as a company driver or an owner-operator. But 2 trucks, that's almost as small as it can be. Can only be 1 truck smaller. And that's very common, though. Most people do not work for a large place. I pay all my drivers $2.50 a mile, but only pay every 6th mile. Yeah, that's what some of these things, there's always some kind of catch. You're like, I've seen that where it's the first 100 miles free. I'm like, what do you mean the first 100 miles are free? Oh, well, that's just, those are just the miles to get you going or whatever. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It varies. Tanker, vans, and flat most require a TWIC and some regional. Oh, a TWIC card too, which I don't have. Beware rate cons can be copy and pasted. That would be some work to do, especially with just 2 trucks. I mean, you'd have to have somebody doing that work. It's not like they have a huge staff if it's a 2-truck company. Caught my old dispatch red-handed on changing them. I guess they could, but how many people could possibly work there in the back? A couple of people? What's the deal with some owner-operators doing 60 on the interstates? I believe they're trying to squeeze 30 miles per gallon out of their trucks. Well, they're seeing this fuel go up, which today is 334, according to the EPA, and they're trying to get that extra fuel mileage. While these big mileage rates, yet trucks still can't afford a free shower. The fuel depend on points for meals. Trucks are still full of hot air. I know. Are people making money or not? Why do we still smell? Owner-operators are making good money if they're good at it. And company drivers now, as we see, are also making good money. I don't know why you can't get a shower. 50 gallons of fuel was never a problem on the road. For me, always had showers on my card coming. That's before they used to give you all these unlimited showers. I'd always have extra showers on there. I mean, I don't understand it. Fun story at GP Transco. We interviewed an office job candidate who worked for a carrier that had a Photoshop department that worked purely on modifying rate confirmation before sending them. Who would say that to you? Number one. And this is going to be a place that's larger. That it's going to have a Photoshop department. But that's good. I always am worried about percentage on that kind of thing. Always. That's why I don't like percentage. I'm just concerned about it. At least when you get mileage, if you get 50 cents a mile and they give you a 1,000-mile load, you know you're getting $500. You know it right up front. So you know all that right up front. The ultimate job, 1099 and lease purchase. Well, lease purchase are 1099 drivers. Ask Prime about that. Kevin, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, nothing for free. Exactly. It'd be 73 cents empty loaded or bobtail. That would be good. That would mean all miles paid. It's the way they should do it, certainly. Again, I'm not the one dispatching me, so the rate, I've seen that, and a lot of tankers do this for some reason, where it's one rate, and then it's a different rate for empty, which I never understood. It still takes the same amount of licensing to drive the truck, right? So that's the thing. They can't pay a different amount. It's the same job. I would be required to have the same kind of license to be a driver. When is Riverside Transport RTI? GP Transco said 81 cents a mile, $1,900 guaranteed. Oh, $1,900 guarantee on the road. That's pretty good. Wow, $95,000 a year. Original rate comp paperwork. That's what you want. Most stops are now getting 60 gallons for a shower and 70 for a shower and a meal, which should be an easy task to get that amount every day. Yeah, look, 60 gallons, unless you're at the TA here out the west, In Utah and Nevada, some TAs are limiting you to 60 gallons. They can't get fuel brought in fast enough. But still, you could still get a shower for that. If you're not using 60 gallons of fuel a day, what are you doing? Even at 8 miles a gallon, it's 400 miles. On the road, you're going to need more miles than that if you're going to get paid by the mile to make any kind of money, certainly. Far H. Rookie-friendly over-the-road drive-in no-touch freight. Pet-friendly, shorter over-the-road training time around St. Louis. Thanks. Looking at GP Transco in a year. Well, who's out there around the St. Louis area who's rookie-friendly? You're in Missouri. You're not that far from a bunch of places down 70, certainly, and thank you very much for that. See if we have someone here from St. Louis area. That's the way the TA limited 60 gallons, so you can still get a shower. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're up to 60 gallons now? Every place that doesn't show the true rates, they'll definitely be stealing. I do think that's stealing. If they're going to say 30%, they ought to pay you 30%. There's no way they should steal from you like that. That isn't right. They wouldn't want a driver to do it. I have unlimited showers and refills at the Loves all the time. That's the way. I think the Loves has the best deal going on the interstate. I still do because of the unlimited and free drinks and everything. Yeah. Don't tow truck drivers get paid from all the looting they do out of your car after they tow it? Yeah. And the looting they do by charging you $183 a day storage, but they're not open on Saturday and Sunday. So they tow it Friday and charge you 3 days, and you haven't been able to get your car. Exactly. They're second only to movers. Oh, yeah, it's extra amount, or you don't get all your stuff back. Western in Denver pays $1.10. $1.10, Sam, for owner-operators loaded and empty. Oh, nice. Yet wonder why they have a hard time retaining drivers. Well, they're company drivers, which someone said just a week or two ago, are up to 40 cents now. 40 cents, $1.10. I don't know how you make any money at $1.10. The fuel surcharge would have to be really aggressive, like another $1 a mile, which it probably is just a standard fuel surcharge. $1.10 a mile. $1.10. I can't imagine that. Some places lease you a truck for $1,000. I saw somebody buying a truck for Schneider. SDI. It was like $9.95 a week. They said to somebody in their comments, $9.95 a week. Sweet. And then you're getting $1.10? No way. Loves is still 50 gallons. All right, good. Are they still doing half showers at the Pilot? You used to be able to get a half a shower. I also get percentage, 30% work for a small company. 5 drivers, 2 of whom are the owner and his son, John M. So they don't have time to Photoshop your stuff. $19.23 per week works out $100,000 per year. That's what I'm saying. Midnight trucker, $1,900. You're in the $95,000 range. Not bad. If that's a guaranteed amount of money on the road, I need, always at a place that has a guarantee, ask them, what do I have to do for the guarantee? What do I need to do to earn the guarantee? Some of them, it's different than others. Just for that kind of guarantee, I want to do it. I want to know what to do. Al Johns, I work for Ozark in Memphis. Nice. They told me, they tell you where to fill up. Sometimes they had to fill up at one place and sleep at another. Showers don't carry over from Loves to Pilot. Yeah, that's always a problem. That's why I like the open fuel card. Or at least if you let any Pilot or any J or any Love, something like that, where as opposed to you have to get fuel only at this single truck stop, that's an annoyance to the driver for sure. I always take a shower if I'm done unloading my wagon. I have to break down the tailgate and tailgate to the back of the trailer, so you need a shower from all that work. I try not to burn 60 gallons a day. I just pour a few gallons out of the ground so I can get the shower. Always get the extra. What you should do is find some owner-operator and sell it to them. Don't do that. It wouldn't be stealing for you, I guess. Don't these tankers also have a lot of deadhead miles? Some of them do. I think some of them do, but if I still need the tanker and still got to have a CDL on that, it should pay the same. Not to beg, but I'm a diamond member at Love's, so you get all the free stuff. Fancy. So you get the fancy. I'm diamond at Love's. Oh, there's more than one person, too, but now burning that high dollar fuel on government charge account. That's even better. When I left Western, Sam, the company drivers were at like 36 cents. Maybe they're finally upping the pay. From what I understand, Western, they're at 40 cents now. You have to admit, Western has some of the nicest trucks on the road. Can we admit that? I think we can admit that. That they have super nice trucks. Like some of the nicest trucks going down the road. St. Louis, haven't they all been murdered? I don't know. Is there anybody left alive there that can actually do anything? St. Louis is such a large place. I will send people to Craigslist. You can go to XPO has this now. Holland is doing this. I've seen Yellow, they'll hire people without experience and put you right into training as well. So there's those kind of places. If your company doesn't feel where you can get showers, I think you should make those companies pay a weekly shower allowance. Nice. They'd say, well, look, you can shower right there where you fuel. No problem. You can park wherever you want. Everybody's a diamond there. I don't have diamond status there. It's easier to drive a tanker empty than full. It can be a little different. Midlife trucker, I agree. It can be different, but I still need a CDL to do it either way. They're still hiring an experienced driver to drive it. So because it's a different job or it's easier, doesn't matter. I always give this at the when JCPenney here across the street used to have a hair cutting place, and I had more hair, I would go over there to get my hair cut at JCPenney. And the person at JCPenney that did hair, there were several people, all right, and they had different rates. One person was like $12, $14, and the one person was $24 because that person had more experience. So I go to that person, it's $24 to do my haircut, which is just a regular haircut. But that's because that person had experience, so you were hiring a more experienced person to even just do what would be a simple job. It's the same when driving a truck. You hire someone with a lot of experience and you go, well, this is an easy job. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're still hiring that person to do that job, and you should pay for it. They should pay for it. Yep. GP Transco's headed out. Thanks for another good show. Please email us the names and addresses of the winners of the books once you have them. All right, we'll do that. Thank you for being here. I think Western enters their trucks on demolition derby on the weekends. Really, they're so nice. They're the nicest trucks on the highway, or close to it. For company trucks, certainly. Super nice trucks. They win awards for their trucks. They're so nice. I'm always about 5 to 15 gallons short of diamond every month. For 5 gallons, oh my gosh, I would pay the money to put it in somebody's truck to get diamond for the whole month. I mean, that's well worth it. What's that, $15? 40 cents is George Bush still in office. I know, but they just raised it to that from what I understand. Winner, chicken dinner. Come on, 410, right? Good day. I'm a little late jumping on your saddle tank now, Mark. All right, which only got one, so you'll have to just get on the driver's side. George Wilson, thank you for that. I ran tanker Neos before started Air Liquide. Oh, that's all fancy. I rarely had reloads. Paid the same loaded and empty. Gone as far as Industry, California from Ontario. Came back empty. Wow. But see, they're having you drive it as a driver. They hire you with experience. They need to pay you. I prefer the tank loaded when I drive in the rain, especially one with stupid singles. And the wind. Like it was the other day. The customer wanted the trailers dedicated to them, so no reloads. That's a good way to do it. I wouldn't mind that kind of deal. Holy mackerel. That's weird. My stuff says diamond, and I typically fuel at the Pilot, so it's weird. Can you still get a half a shower at the Pilot? I usually cut my own hair now. The last place I went to was a real clip joint. Well, they don't do it here at Penny's anymore, so I don't go there. But I thought that was an interesting way that they did it, and what you're doing is paying for value. You're paying for experience and value. This person is going to be better at it because they've been doing it, 15 years, where this person is a year. And so the person that was doing it longer made more money, and that's how it should be. Whether they did just a little thing for you or more or whatever, they made more because they were more experienced. That's how people need to think of themselves. Truck driving is an easy job until it isn't. Aaron White, that's correct. So they put an experienced driver, even though you're running empty all these miles, they should still pay because you're getting the benefit of that experienced driver. If they don't want to, what they should do is just hire a temp that just started driving to drive the trucks back or something like that. Oh, they'd be like, well, that's ridiculous. Yeah, so is paying somebody less because the truck's empty. Midlife trucker. Okay, so Pilot still does the half shower credit. It's good because I have seen some drivers that are only clean on one side. And so I thought, oh, okay, I'm either watching a original series Star Trek, if people remember that one, right? Or the Pilot still does the half showers. All right, so you can get a half a shower for half the fuel. Someday you'll own Generals. Oh, no, right. Firestone's here, and Firestone's on one, and what's on the other one? Oh, Michelin's, right. Michelin's on the other one. That's what they come with from the factory. So that's how those go. So the CPAP that's been recalled, there's a driver suing them saying, look, I can't drive because my CPAP's recalled. Remember, we talked about the CPAPs being recalled because of some cancer causing, cancer or whatever. And so he says, look, now I can't drive because I have to have a CPAP that works. Can you not get another CPAP machine? Is that not possible to do? Can't you go to your doctor and say, look, I need another CPAP, and you get another one? There's more than just this one from whatever this place was called to get this one CPAP. Did you see that? Driver says, look, it's impossible for me to drive. I think that also, if you couldn't get a medical device to drive, you're disabled. I mean, I'd have to look into that, but I think you could get disability. When you have a medical problem that prevents you from driving, that sounds like what disability is, right? So does a half shower work? Clean your feet or pits? I think it's this way. It cuts this way, right? It cuts both ways, really. I cut my own hair, clippers, and a razor. I can see myself. Really, Kelly. Wow. Clippers and a razor. Pilot still does half showers, but you have to use 2 at once. Well, I saw a driver who was half clean. So, Steel Horse, don't forget if you break down, you only have 10 minutes to put out your reflective triangles. How many drivers do we see this? Although I don't think there's that many broke down. Even so, they have 10 minutes to put them out, but what's the percentage of drivers that put out the triangles properly? 1? I mean, I hardly ever see. I've seen them sitting on the back of the trailer. Okay, so, but I agree with you, right? Get your triangles out immediately. In fairness, I enjoyed working for Western. They hired me to be a yard jockey at 18, so I'm forever thankful. All I've said about the place really is pay, that their pay is way low in the industry. I think they have super nice trucks. Nobody that works there ever really complains about the treatment, that they're not treated well or anything. I think they treat people well. Everybody seems to like it, but the pay, you're really paying out of your own pay for that nice truck, because pay now, they're 15 cents low at least. And that pay, is a lot of money. You're losing $20,000 a year going really because you have a nice truck. And so I think they need to up the game on the pay. I'm not losing that much money just for a truck. Flat Highway cop pulled me over and says paper. So I said scissors and drove off. Now I'm facing 5 to 10 years. Scissors. Google if you have blue rewards card, whatever that is, you can earn half a shower with a certain amount of gallons. What is a blue rewards card? Is Walmart a good company to drive for? Jay Clemens. Here's my problem with Walmart. They run all these ads. You slip seat the sleepers. Okay, many drivers, they're not all of them. Okay, many drivers, especially starting, have to slip seat a sleeper truck, and I'm not in for that. I'm just not in for it. It's just too creepy and weird. I think if you're going to sleep in a truck, you should have your own truck assigned to you and a new mattress, to be honest with you. But at Walmart, you slip seat the sleeper. So just because of that, I'm out. Plus, they have a weird phone policy. You can only talk an hour a day. I believe this is it, and it can't be more than 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a call. So 6 calls, 10 minutes a call, 1 hour a day. And you agree that if they ask you for it, you agree to this up front. You have to give them your cell phone records so that they can see if you're making phone calls. Look, I'm not in for that. I don't shop at Walmart, and I'm certainly not going to drive there. LV parked on a no park ramp for a quick nap and put flashers and triangles out so I wouldn't get a parking ticket. Nice. I wonder if that would work. Maybe. Walmart slip seats. They slip seat their sleepers even. And that's the real problem. Day cab is one thing. But to slip seat a sleeper, when you go out for a 3-day run or whatever and you come back in, that truck goes back out with somebody else. Well, you go home or whatever, and then you come back, you might get a different truck. And that's a real problem for me. I just don't like that. You're sleeping somewhere. It's just weird. Mark came out of the JCPenney haircut looking like Farrah Fawcett. Hey, I look good. When I had hair in there and I would go in that place, I did look good. Farrah Fawcett. I wish I looked like Farrah Fawcett coming out of there. That would be weird, though, wouldn't it? Wearing that bathing suit coming out of there. Be weird. I'll take it, though. Just buy another phone with a cheap plan for Walmart. You shouldn't have to do that. Here's the thing. I shouldn't have to do that at a company. And I've told people to go in with a flip phone at places, but I should not have to do that. Where I have to buy another phone because my job is stupid. Okay, you just shouldn't. There's no reason you can't talk on the phone on a headset if it's a Blue Parrot. No reason at all. It's legal, so I don't have any problem with it. And they can't say it's safety or they would have to eliminate the phone. So if it's about safety, they'd say no phone calls, then I can understand what they're saying. But 6-10 minute calls, how's that a safety related? It's either safe or it isn't. Walmart sounds like the prison of trucking. That's the thing. They have all these extra, we pay you to sleep in the truck, but also your mattress is your buddy's mattress, right? So from last week, so no. Just got a half a haircut. Nice. You didn't have enough points for the full haircut. Slip seat, I'll pass. I'm not slipping a sleeper. I don't like the slip-seated day cab, which I don't do that much. But I wouldn't like that if I had to do it every day. I'm certainly not going to slip-seat a truck I got to sleep in. I think that when you get a sleeper, the company ought to give you a new mattress, wrapped up, or you unwrap it. The only company I ever see that puts triangles out correctly is Swift. I can't believe how many super truckers do that wrong. You see them with one hanging on the back of the trailer a foot away and then 3 feet away, and that one's falling over on its side. And that's where you see them. Okay, I'll talk on my Blue Parrot as long as I need to conversate with the family and friends. That's my business at Walmart's. Well, the problem is Walmart will fire you for it. And so that's the thing. They fire you for a safety thing. At least I will tell them this. At least they tell you this stuff up front. So I'd rather they did that and you can decide I'm not going to work there. So I would say don't go there and then violate it. You know, if you don't like a company's policy, certainly don't work there. And at least they're upfront about it, so I got to give them that. Companies that are upfront about stuff, it's okay, and then you can decide I'll do it or I won't do it. DIY Semi has a new video all drivers need to see. More important to check behind the wheel for leaks than just the hub. Yeah, that's where I saw that axle leak on another truck that I wouldn't take out. The whole inside was all greased. You can't see in because it's got the stupid hubcap on it. Maybe your hair situation today is because you let JCPenney cut it. I don't know. Not going to that expensive person there. Hair situation. What are you trying to say? Hair situation. A mankini. I'm saying Farrah and the famous poster, which of course I've never seen, but I've been told about, was wearing a bathing suit. So Walmart sounds more micromanaged than K&B. I know. They want drivers, but then that micromanagement, they also wear uniforms too, which I don't know. You know, it's a personal thing. I don't wear a uniform here. They have uniforms. You never see a Walmart driver doing a video without a uniform, although most of those have stopped too. Walmart has put the kibosh on that. What would Sam Walton do? That's interesting. I think people would be treated better then. You know, he didn't have his own parking spot in the lot, from what I understand. He just parked his car in the lot like everybody else. I couldn't drive for Walmart. I put a custom mattress in my sleeper. I don't know. Oh, you'd have to take it out. I guess, well, they have different kind of trucks, though. So that's a problem because they're different sizes. So you'd have to have one, I guess if you bought one for each different kind of truck they had, and then you could call and see what truck you're getting, and then bring the mattress that fits that truck. So that's pretty great. Why buy a burner phone if the company should be paying for it? I heart CryptoBurst. Well, the thing is, the phone, they just won't let you talk on your own phone for more than that amount of time. You're buying a burner phone so that you give them the records of that phone. It doesn't have any calls on it, but you got to pay for the phone every month just to kind of scam them. Just tell them, look, because of your dumb policy, I'm not going to work here. You know, how about that? We just got a 3-cent raise in my company. We're at 50 cents now. Silver, that's good. 50 cents, creeping up to 60. Everybody's making good money on the road now, finally. Better than it used to be. Donkey bite. I went in for a CPAP machine. They gave me a pap smear. I think it was robbed. You went in the wrong door, which can be a problem. Kevin, they get plenty of practice there. The reason is because Walmart owns a truck. If you want that paying home weekly, you agree. I agree with that. They can have any dumb policy they want. And then what happens is when they get a policy that's too restrictive, some experienced drivers that might otherwise work there won't. They cut out some of the workforce because of a policy that doesn't seem to make sense. If talking on the phone is unsafe, then they should say no talking on the phone. But if it's unsafe up to 60 minutes a day, then after that it's unsafe, but below that it's safe as long as the calls are 10 minutes. That's a stupid policy. It doesn't even make sense. And that's the problem with it. And switching changing out the trucks, slip-seating the trucks, I don't do that. And so what they do is cut out me and other people that might otherwise go there, that won't work there. Maybe they don't care, and that's okay. It's their place. I drive for Schneider and love it. Not sorry. Well, you can get out anytime, right? I mean, it is America. Dave Johnson, I rocked a mullet back in the 90s. Now my extreme upper 30s, I have a skullet. Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to be flipping my beard up here pretty soon. Working on the truck, including changing a light bulb in the shower shoes, is a major violation of OSHA. Changing a light bulb, exactly. I'll do headlights and stuff in a truck so that I don't get a ticket. But beyond that, the company needs to maintain it, which they do. Okay, they don't ever ask you to do anything, but I don't want to run around with a single headlight and get a ticket. I'll pop that light out of there, no problem. Captain Flatbed, no way I'd work for a mega micromanaging company. We're all out here to do a job. If you can't do it, stay at the house. Right. This kind of 60 minutes, 6-10 minute calls, how does that make sense? I'd like someone there to explain to me why that's even anything. Why that is anything. And then checking your phone. They can see all kinds of calls you've made then. You got to give them your phone records. What if you called 10 other companies that month to go work there? Or whatever. Maybe you called a suicide prevention hotline, and they see that and they go, oh, this. Maybe you called a cancer, doctor or something because you have an issue. That's none of that is their business. None of that is their business. What's a good carrier to join that will train me to get a CDL? I think you should go to the state and have the state pay for your CDL at a private school in your area. Go to your state's Department of Unemployment and see if they have a policy for grants. Many states do, and you can even be working while they do it, and have them pay for your CDL license at a state school that way. Then you don't owe anybody any money at the end of it. Why do majority of experienced truckers try to pressure new truckers to become an owner-operator? I don't know if the majority of experienced truckers do that, do they? I think it's companies doing that, and it's only a few companies that pressure you to lease a truck. Do experienced truckers pressure people to be an owner-operator? I certainly don't. I mean, I like being a company driver because I don't have any responsibility in the truck. I make less money than an owner-operator, and because I don't have as much risk as an owner-operator in it. And I get better benefits. So it just depends. If you made enough, you could buy the benefits that I get. So it just depends what you want to do. A lot of owner-operators are not home every day, too. I think that's a tougher way to go as an owner-operator. Sorry, that was a mistake. We're making 57 cents now. Not 50. Right, 57 cents. Right, almost 60. That's what I'm saying. My second year in the industry, and I'm on track to make 6 figures. Midlife trucker. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's life-changing money. People don't realize that. Did you see that unemployment was up? They just announced this a week or two. There's more people on unemployment than there were last month in June. Or the month before May. I think May to June the numbers came out. Why are people not driving? Okay, go drive. Just go drive for 5 years. Okay, and change your life and then go do something else. What if you called Target? I don't know. Do they have their own drivers? Fantastic show, first timer, David Book. Well, thank you very much. You can listen to the podcast and then you don't even have to look at me. So let's go to your podcast thing for that. Flatbed eastbound Highway 80. Rock Springs, Wyoming. Keep up the good work. All right, out in Wyoming. Nice. Always my favorite place to go out there. Just completed 160 Driving Academy using the grant in Illinois. That's awesome. See, that's the way to do it. Now you have a grant. Grants don't have to be repaid. Now you have a lot more options on what you can do. You don't have to worry about, if I don't stay here 3 years, I got to repay it or whatever. I think that's the way to get it, and the license is yours. Nobody's sending you these dumb letters like somebody just sent to me. Steel Horse, in an experienced lease operator pressuring drivers to get a lease for the sign-in bonus. Oh, right. So lease operators might be pressuring people to come over and get a lease so that they get a big sign-in bonus. Yes. There's a way to do it, right. That's why you also have to be a little suspicious about somebody that may be pressuring you to come there. Ask them, are you getting paid for that? There's nothing wrong with getting paid for it. It's just, something to think about. Better off finding a driver from a company that you want to go to just at random. Just go ask some random driver that you find. Hey, what do you think about this place? Martin Brower requires inward and outward cameras for all drivers, new or formerly MLS. George Wilson. Yeah, Martin Brower. I agree. And that's one of the people that has written to me. Martin Brower does McDonald's, at least around here. And he said, look, they don't give you any grief about it. He said, we back in and do stuff all the time, and I never have any problem with it. So there's a lot of companies that doing that. But they can't explain why 6 10-minute calls is safe, but 7 10-minute calls are not safe. I just want some kind of explanation. I just posted my 6-month pay stub video yesterday. $100,000. Man, 3 years of pay for me. Just check out Just Trucking. He's an owner-operator. Does he want people to become an owner-operator? Target uses Swift. All right. Oh, so you could drive for Swift and then be on the Target account. I've been trying to reach you regarding the warranty on your Sonic. I get those letters, by the way. That's funny. I got a letter last week about that car. I get the letters. Hey, your warranty is expired, but you haven't contacted us. This will be the last time that we will ask you about, extending your warranty, except it's never the last time. That your vehicle is now out of warranty. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's 8 years old. It should be out of warranty. there's no miles on it or whatever. So yeah, absolutely. So I get those letters all the time. I haven't gotten them on the Escape yet, but I assume I will start to. It's 2 years old, so it's almost 2 years old. I assume I'll get them on that eventually. It's still under warranty. Anyone have any info about VL trucking? I've seen them on the road. There's a lot of videos on YouTube talking about leasing. Of course. Companies love to lease you a truck. Hey, why don't you come and lease a truck for $1,000 a week? Kurt's son, just found you guys. Is it true our food is going to be shortcoming? No. Believe me, people are going to have food to eat. Okay, that is if anything, Cash is King Trucking is single-handedly supplying most of America with its food needs. He has slept last fall for just a few hours, and otherwise has kept bringing all of our food. Black Horse does Aldi, mostly day cabs, hourly pay, and home daily. Black Horse, really? I haven't gone by Aldi. It's not, I don't go down that street. Black Horse is huge. Penske bought them, and they're gigantic. They're one of the largest third-party logistics places in the country. They advertise over here all the time. They do constant stuff in Indy. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They have tons of ads. There's probably one near you. Talk to them if that's something that you want to do. It's a huge place. I get those warranty phone calls all the time. Oh, I don't get calls. These are letters. I only answer for numbers that are in my phone. So if I get the call, it just doesn't go anywhere, and they never leave a message if it's them. Kurt's son, I'm sick of hearing all this crap. No, food is going to be the last thing. If there's food shortages, there's going to be real problems. Meyer here, at least here in Lafayette, Indiana, world headquarters, is full of food. So that doesn't seem to be a problem. It sounds like Walmart is saying they don't allow short calls. They'll allow short calls, but don't want people getting around that by making a dozen 10-minute calls. Well, but then what is the point? I mean, is it safe or is it not safe? If it's safe, they can't say it's unsafe and then let you make a call. So they can't have that both ways. So they must think it's safe. So then limiting it doesn't make any sense. It's either safe or it isn't safe. And if they're like, well, it's not safe, well, is an 11-minute call not safe? I mean, why that amount? It doesn't make any sense. And that's what I don't like, these goofy, stupid rules that don't make any sense. Kurt's son, thank you for helping. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I do this every week at 12:30 p.m., so stop back in. Black Horse is super strict on rules and safety issues. Do they have dumb rules like, don't tell me they have dumb rules like Walmart. Are they, what are they, 7-minute calls? So it's 63 minutes. Like, we have 3 extra minutes than Walmart. I mean, what would you consider a super strict rule or safety issue that's dumb? Like, we're strict on safety and rules, like don't get tickets and, you have an accident, you're probably fired, that kind of stuff. But what would be a rule that they're like strict on? Jose, what's going on? You're headed to Mountain. When is that going to happen? When are we getting that started? There's been food shortages at the Fling J in Des Moines. At the truck stop, $12 burritos, they're short of that. Come on out to Meyer here. There's no problem. I paid $6,500 for my schooling. I was living in my car doing day labor. And then after I paid for it, I found out I could have got a grant. Silver. That's correct. You could have. I've been saying it for years. If you're, whatever state you're in, if you want to go to truck school, call the Department of Unemployment. That's usually who handles it. Tell them you want to go to truck school and see if they have a grant. Many of them do. Many do. And grants don't have to be paid back. So you can go to a local truck school, get your CDL paid for, then you can decide what to do. So that's the way to do it. Midlife, I think they're saying a few short calls are okay. Well, is it safe or not? That's what I'm saying. Kurt's son, you have a new follower. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Roger Moore, I got the extended warranty phone calls all the time. I'm thinking of signing up for my 73 pickup. Used to be a farm truck, and even the plastic has rust. I'm surprised there's anything left to it. Trucking should be an Olympic sport, as long as we only wear full suits. We don't want these tiny leotards that I've been hearing about. Royal 3 is offering 80 cents for a 2007 Volvo. 80 cents. But 07, I mean, holy mackerel. Are we really going to drive a 14-year-old truck around as a company driver? Don't tell me they're leasing that truck. I can't find White Monster in 5 states. What is White Monster? Is that a Monster energy drink? I see more truckers texting and driving than people in cars doing it. That's true. Right. But if you're on the phone with a headset, that's legal. And so it's either safe or it isn't, according to the company. I'm not sure, but I don't think they let you use your phone at all. Somebody clarify that. So are you saying Black Horse, you can't even use your phone? to make any kind of call? Who would want to do that? Okay, Mark, thanks for making Mondays great again. I'm off to deliver 30,000 pounds of cannabis to L.A. Really? Wow. Slowly, I guess. All right, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Black Horse Safety suspended a driver more than one lane change in a mile. Really? They're going to dictate like that? Boy, it makes K&B look like it's awesome. They're going to say you can't do more than one lane change? Well, wait a minute. I thought the camera only goes off during an incident, if it has a camera. So which is it? Trucking may be a winter sport. Got to share ice driving chops. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. What do we think about this guy, TMC? So a driver for TMC, he's suing them. All right. He says, this is what he says, that they let him go on the second day because he had dreadlocks. Now, this is what he says. They say, well, you have to be able to wear a hard hat here, and he couldn't secure his hard hat on. And now I know TMC has a lot of weird rules too. That's why I bring him up. So he says, no, this isn't right or whatever. He says they didn't give him an opportunity to even try the hard hat on. Anybody there what do they think about that? Nate showed a picture of the guy, and he does have a lot of dreads on the top of his head. I will say that. They're pretty tall. But they should at least let him try to put it on. If they didn't, which they have no comment on it because of the pending litigation. And if it doesn't fit, then they say, well, look, now you got to do something because you're required to wear a hard hat or something. So pretty interesting considering they have all these weird rules there. Why would you let somebody go without at least trying to see if they can wear a hard hat? What is the problem? It doesn't matter what kind of hair you have. If the hard hat goes on, they said it had to be snug and secure or whatever, something like that. Let them try on the hard hat. If they didn't, we'll see what they have to say about it. I saw a dirty TMC truck the other day, Roger Moore. Oh, you should have turned him in immediately. The driver would probably be fired in 2 seconds. I saw a dirty truck. They probably would call him, to be honest with you. They probably would call him. Thomas, being able to use a headset to talk to someone during the hours of 1 to 5 has helped me stay awake and alert many times. Oh, my gosh. Driving nights, a lot of times you'll get into this 4 or 6, 7-way conversation where everybody 3 ways in, calls in. We do that on the weekends too at the manhole, but everybody 3-way calls in and there'll be 8, 10 people on the phone for the night. Absolutely. It's a safety thing to be able to be on it. To say, well, I have to get off the phone. I'll be right back. I can only talk 10 minutes. I mean, come on. They don't realize the benefit of being able to be on the phone. It's one of the service areas in New York wanted $18 for McDonald's hamburgers. Oh, wow. One of those $18. Is that with the CDL discount? Remember, you get a CDL on all the toll roads all the way out there. It's a tough company. They have standards. I will say, I mean, that's true. Having a standard and having something that doesn't make sense, I think, is frustrating. Maybe only to me, because I question everything, right? Like X-Files. But a policy that, okay, well, you can talk, 6 times for 10 minutes. Why can't I talk 6 times, for 11 minutes? Then they're like, oh, here's somebody asking questions. Well, it doesn't make sense. When I was at Schneider, they could call me while I was driving, and if I answered, they would write me up. Well, forget them. I'd block their stupid number. Oh, come on, people. Is that all you got to do at a company, is see if somebody will answer their phone? Hey, let's see if Flat Highway will answer the phone right here. Let's give them a call. Come on. Multiple drivers on the call. Who's the pivot man? Hey, that we switch off. Literally. You switch off on that. If the hat doesn't fit, they must have quit. I think if he's telling the truth, it's a stupid policy. At least try it on and then say, look, it's got to be able to go on. What can we do about this? Work with somebody. You already brought him over there. What's the difference? Apparently, he's gotten a bunch of job offers at other places, so he's going to go somewhere else. But I wish TMC would say something about it. I know they have tattoo policies and all these other policies that, they have different hair policies and facial hair and all this stuff. I mean, some of those are other policies that really don't make any sense. CDL discount doesn't exist on the thruway. You used to get a discount, Dave Johnson. You could sign up anywhere from Chicago, literally the Skyway, all the way out, all the way to the East Coast. The Mass Pike, everything, all the way out there, thruway. So that's disappointing. So you got to pay the full $18? That is expensive. I will say that. The most immaculate rigs are horseless carriage car haulers. Patterson, George Wilson. Okay, so those are nice too. I'll give you that. For a car hauler, they're super nice. I will say the Western wins awards for their trucks, and they're way nicer looking than most companies' trucks that places provide, especially inside. It's loaded in there. Super nice. Long nose Pete's and everything. Nice trucks. Horseless carriage, also very nice trucks. Of course, they're running, $1 million cars in there or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The Florida Turnpike, did you see this? So these cars stop, and what happens? A truck crashes into them. That's a real problem. Driver 66 of that truck dies. A 42-year-old in a car dies. If the traffic stops in front of you and you can't stop, you're falling too close. It's as simple as this. Was 8:30 in the morning, too, during the day. They said it was sunny out. There's a picture of the truck. It's disappointing. I mean, super sad that people died. You have to be, if people stop, no matter where they're stopping, you have to be able to stop. If you can't stop, you're following too close. It's just as simple as that. We do multiple driver calls, too. It's like a chat room. Midnight Trucker. Yeah, isn't that great? Especially at night. Everybody stays awake. Talk about dumb stuff. Somebody's got Art Bell on or whatever. You maybe have that kind of thing on. Absolutely, right. That's the way to do it. The Tennessean truck stop will reopen. They said, remember that place that burned down in Tennessee? Right, that truck stop is going to open. And in other accident news in Utah, the dust storm, 7 are dead there and 22 vehicles involved in a dust storm accident in Utah. Again, we're following too close. Space it out. Dust storm, slow it down, space it out. And there's always got to be somebody that blasts in there at the speed limit. Aviator Trucker, pretty trucks won't make big bucks. That's the problem. If you're giving up 15, 20, 25 cents a mile to drive that truck, I mean, personally, as a company driver, that's not worth it to me. Because all you're getting is the benefit of the truck. I mean, that doesn't pay the Duke Energy bill. I can't send them a picture of my truck. Look at my W900L I have here at Western. Here's $20 towards the bill and this picture of this beautiful truck. I can't pay you the rest of it because I make way less money than I should. I don't think that's worth it to me. You're basically paying for a company truck. You're paying to get a nice truck, but you're a company driver. To me, not worth it. I'm not saying drive some piece of junk around, but nearly every road company certainly gives you a truck that's decent to drive around. So it's a Cascadia. So what? So, okay, I'll take 60 cents in a Cascadia for $500, Alex. Art Bell died. He was like second or third cousin midlife trucker. I do. Art Bell did die a number of years ago. The Our Place restaurant at the Morris TA opens August 2nd. Finally. They're finally getting these places back open. You cannot tell us where you work, but can you tell us what you do? Yeah, I drive a semi. You a line-haul shuttler, or do you actually make some deliveries? Let's make this like what's my... Like I've always said, I do a drop and hook currently in the Cincinnati. And I don't make any deliveries or pickups. Those I looked at what trucking is and said, what holds people up? Where is it that the bottlenecks are? Okay, and so then I worked my way into doing things that don't have me do those bottlenecks, like fueling. All right, I've opened fuel card. All right, deliveries. All right, I don't do any deliveries. All right, so that kind of stuff. And that stuff saves you time. That's how I get a pretty short day. Generally under 8 hours. It's rare for me to go over 8 hours a day. 5 days a week. So 37. Yeah, I'm usually logging in the 37-hour range every week. All my time is logged. I refuse to do any work without logging. First thing you open the doors, start to log. And then everything is logged. And all the time's on duty till I get back. And that's the way I do it. Have you heard the TA is going to close most company restaurants? Midlife Trucker. No, I haven't heard anything about that. They just opened a bunch of restaurants back up. Why do large companies lease their trucks? Because they can have somebody else make their truck payment for them, which is pretty nice. If I can go, look, I can have everybody else make my truck payment and not pay them any benefits, boy, that's a pretty good deal for me. Then if there's no freight, they can't afford their truck payment anymore if it comes to that, and we'll just bring all the trucks back that they just paid for all that time. Awesome. I'm going to be extremely racist when it comes to the hair dread guy. The guy was white. TMC was justified. He was not white. But it wouldn't matter. I mean, what he says is they didn't let him try that hard hat on even. They just said it's not going to fit, and so basically we can't acquit. And that's what he says. Remember, TMC doesn't deny this or accept it. They said they can't comment on it. But I'm like, if that's true, that doesn't seem legit. I mean, put a hat on that guy. Here, put this on. Right, kind of thing. And then I'd say, all right, now we have to change your hair or whatever because this is required here. But otherwise, no, it just seems ridiculous. And I only believe it, partly believe it, because of TMC's policies, where they have to make the bedding, you have a tattoo policy and a facial hair policy, all that stuff. A Captain Flatbed, John, so they have the driver making payments for them and get 1099. I'm right. Hey, make our payments. We'll give you no benefits. Take all the benefits you had away, including vacation, everything else. We'll 1099 you. You'll think you're making more money. And then if freight goes down the toilet, we'll just take the truck back because you can't make your $1,000 payment. All right. And drivers are like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm an owner-operator now. No. Country Pride is going away. No more chop steak. Oh, man. No more country fried steak. With big as your plate. I could never survive at TMC, my dog alone, to make sure of that. Kelly, right, exactly. That's right. I don't think they let you have a dog there because how would you ever get your truck back to, showroom condition every time it had to go through the terminal? You got to put away all the grills and everything. Sounds like you're relaying with other drivers. Okay. I don't. I drop off in a gigantic drop lot. So do you go to the Natty and back three times? From Lafayette, it's 350 miles a night. 360, depends which way I go because it depends on traffic. In Lebanon, Indiana, there's a section of I-65 that's under construction. So if they have lanes closed, it's way super backed up. So I have to go, I'll take 28 or 39, go around. It just depends. So it just depends on traffic. It's 345 to 365 a night. How about that? What's the most creative revenge a driver has done to his old company? My favorite was a guy broke into his yard and took all the keys out of the trucks and then locked them in one truck. Oh, nice. Talkie bite. That's nice. Now, I would say don't do that, but that's pretty awesome. And that's a company that doesn't care that much about you. I would like the thing that people do at apartments, which is put fish in the truck. I think that's very classic, probably. That's a classic, right? Go get you some fresh fish, put it in the truck on the weekend. But don't do any of that. Just leave. If you're done with a place, right, just leave. Here's your truck. Give them their truck back. Always give them the truck back. And go your separate ways. Here's your truck. I'm done. Mark pulls flatbed loaded with dispatcher brains. No tarps needed. That's about true. A lot of nights I am empty. Country Pride at the restaurant that TA Petro are closing. That's too bad. Iron Skillet has great pinto beans. If you're a pinto bean kind of person. I don't know about pinto beans. I could probably do without that. Would Seat Comfort keep you at a company? A. Dewey Powell and Foodliner, who they interviewed for the article in this, in there, said, look, we're getting these best premium seats that we can get because we know that a driver that has a terrible seat is more likely to leave. I think that's probably one of the last straw kind of things where you have a lot of problems and you're like, you know what, also this seat is uncomfortable. It just adds in. You don't think about it that much until you have a lot of problems. So I don't think a seat is the only thing, but a seat might be one thing. Just a guess, since who you drive for seems to come up every Monday, even though you have said no less than 1 million times you won't reveal who I work for. Well, I just keep them. It keeps them out of your videos. I recommend that to everybody. Anybody that does videos, keep your company out of your videos. They can come in. A number of people have written to me and said, and you can see some of them have even posted videos about it, where the company says, hey, you're putting us in your video, so now you can't say this, or you can only say this. You're showing our vehicle or whatever, so you're speaking for us. So if you want to speak your mind, you have to speak your mind and leave your employer out of it. That's what I'm saying. So unless you want to toe the line of your employer, if you put them out there in it, then they're in it. You bring them in it. And so I don't want to bring them in it. And so I just keep them out of everything. That's why I do it. Huge misconception about being an owner-operator is leasing a company truck. You're not an owner-operator, Captain Flatbed, right? If you never see the title in your name. You're making the company's payment and costing yourself benefits and tax. Exactly. The lease operators at these places, who shall remain nameless like Prime, don't understand that. They think they're an owner-operator. Oh, I own my truck. You don't own anything. Okay, go talk to the people at Falcon. See if they own their truck, or Arrow, especially Arrow. Go look Arrow up. They sent tow truck companies around the country to go pick up all these trucks. A driver smeared Limburger cheese on the DEF burner. Oh, that's great. That seems like a waste of Limburger cheese. I mean, it's expensive. What I'm saying, you got to go to American cheese or something cheaper. You're going to go get and you're going to get this $8 a pound cheese and smear it on there. Expensive. Pinto beans get rear-ended. Do they catch fire? Oh, very good. Nice Ford jokes. Love my no computer, no DEF trucks. Right? You don't have any of those issues. Nobody can smear anything on a DEF filter for you. And no ELD in that truck, right? What would replace Country Pride? Hopefully something better. No, it'll probably be fast food, right? El Burrito Loco. Dump a pound of eating sunflower seed shells down in the top vent. Oh, would that work? That's a lot of sunflower seeds, too. You're eating sunflowers for 4 weeks before you quit. I got to eat all these up. Fisher Brown, big fan. All right, well, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thomas Daniels, I agree. Has Millis Transfer responded to your question about the new idle policy? No. I rarely get companies to respond to me. So they don't like answering questions. I heard a commercial that pretty soon Thermo King will be making refrigerated tarps for flatbed trucks. Nice. If they could figure that out. ET Transport does some videos out there. You may have seen them, and I wrote to them too. Did you see the video they did about why it's great to be a woman in trucking? Oh, and then they show this woman. Well, what she said, right, is somewhat sexist, right? Well, if I walk into a restaurant, men buy me meals. I'm like, oh, this is why women should become truck drivers, because so they can get free meals from men? I mean, that's ridiculous. If a man said that the other way in the videos, I mean, they'd be taken down for that. And so I wrote to them. I go, is this how women are treated at your company? No response. Right. I go, is that why women work at your place? Because the men in the office buy them meals? Is that what's happening? Come on. That's not a reason to be a truck driver, because men buy you meals. That can happen at the manhole. Aviator trucker, those are specialized onion load tarps. Onion loads. I'm making a pot pie while sitting in the right lane on I-79. A pot pie. Do you have a microwave in the truck? Rip the King of Kingston of the night. Ooh, I got that so fast and then it disappeared right after I got it. I do want to give the 3 books away, the GP Transco. Delete the DPF before we delete it. GP Transco has offered 3 books whose name I actually have forgotten. I didn't write it down. I should have. So somebody can put that name out there. Boy, dang it, I should have wrote that down. Anyhow, I want to give those 3 books away to people. So I can do that here. So I always start with 13. How about 13, 15, and 17? How about almost 2 primes and a regular number of people? And I'll start that off here. And they're going to send you a softback copy of a book whose name I can't think of at the moment, and I wish I could. And there's that. I have to always say that YouTube has no part in this. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble for that. There's no purchase necessary. And let's see what else. Oh, right. This is for GP Transco. Rules are in the description, so we can do that. Mother Trucker. That's the name of it right there. Okay, great. Boy, Mark. Boy, that's why the podcast is better. People don't have to see me. So I'll take 13, 15, and 17 when the bell goes off, right, which I can't see over there. So it's just clicking away. And those you'll get what you'll need to do is put the zip code in the comments after I get the numbers, right? And then just send me your address to the email, and GP Transco will send you a soft back copy of that book, Mother Trucker, and then tell me what it is. Let me maybe do a book review. How about that? If you did a book review on video and send it to me, I could post it. If you wanted to do that, if you wrote a book review, I'll put it on the blog, right? If you just send it to me, I can talk about it on the podcast. However you want to do it. So the book is called Mother Trucker, so that's pretty good. Mark knows his primes out 2 out of 3, right? I will say math. I did pretty good in math. I took math all through high school, loved it, all the way through trig, right? Geometry, calculus. I love math. The idea was to develop interstellar drives for NASA. That was what was going to happen. What is a good company start with no experience in the Northwest Coast? Doug Andrews, right? We just talked about them earlier. So, yeah, Doug Andrews. FedEx Trucking is desperately hiring in my area. Wonder what happened they used to be a proud company. Look, when I see ABF, a union company, throwing $11,000 out there, yellow, putting people through school, I mean, people just don't want to do it anymore. And there's something to that. You know, there is when you have these dumb policies like Walmart, that eliminates some people. Or if you change lanes, which I don't know if this is true, this is just said on the show, you change lanes twice and then the company is going to write you up, okay, then people quit trucking, right? Then people are like, forget it. It isn't worth it. If the company wants to drive the truck like that, let them drive it. Math is a conspiracy. It doesn't add up, I will say that. I wish I could set my own timer on a truck for idle like that and let an idle hour and then or two and shut it off. Don't they have that kind of thing? Can't you set an idle timer on some of them? It seems like some of them can do that. Wait, books? Yankees may have won the war, but you can't make me read no books. Al Johns, I wondered that too. I thought, will people really read a book? They maybe should have put it out on audio book, which actually would have been better. Maybe that book is on Audible or something like that. I don't have Audible, so I think that's where it should be, to be honest with you. It should be called a fleece operator. Exactly. That's exactly correct. Take all your benefits away, and we'll pay you, $2. We think, $2, but no benefits. And you can make a $1,300 truck payment for only 5 years and then just buy the truck out for $25,000. Optimum idle. Isn't there a way to set the timer on it? Aviator Truck, I'm wondering if Sierra England has to AP used to mount it on the frame for 2-zone cooling. Actually, Sierra England for the 3-bunk truck actually has a little tube that goes all the way up to the top bunk to blow air into. It's got to be hot in there. Yeah, Creature, now people got to read. Now we're asking you to read and do a book report. And it's due on Friday. So there. T680 can do a timer. I thought some of them have a timer. You can set the timer and the truck will shut itself off. Yeah. What they always used to say at companies is, hey, an hour before you stop, go turn the bunk heater on or air conditioning on and then cool it off a lot or heat it up and then just jump in the bed when you park and go to sleep and you're fine for the whole night. Yeah, a fleece operator, that's basically what it is. They'll bring you in as a company driver and say, well, look, if you want to buy the truck, they always say buy, right, for $1,300 a week and no benefits, no vacation, no nothing. Remember that. No vacation, no holiday, no health insurance, no nothing. No problem. And we'll write your name in a little pinstriping under the door there so people can see it's you. 3-bunk truck is a sausage factory, Captain Flatbed. That's correct. How would you like to be a woman in a 3-bunk truck where there's 2 men and a woman? I mean, that seems like a problem waiting to happen, especially at that place, which already seems to have some of those issues in its past. It got to be a little scary. I wouldn't recommend it. Would never recommend a 3-bunk truck. It's bad enough with 2 people in a truck, especially 2 people that know each other. 2 people that don't know each other, and then there's 3 of you? Oh, my gosh. Forget it. Forget another reason people come in the industry, then they get in a truck and they're like, hey, here's our 2 other people that are going to be in the truck with you for the next 2 months or whatever, even 2 weeks. Forget it. Do you run your podcast from the same studio as this show? I do. The Blue Snowball microphone does double duty, which I got to say duty again, which is fun, for the podcast as well. Yeah, so absolutely I do. And Sheldon will verify that, right? Sheldon says yes. He uses the same microphone for everything. This guy sits there and does that from the same mic. Yeah, because it has to go through Audacity and, add music to it or whatever. So, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to buy one of those 3-bunk trucks. I could keep Lizard on board, just hose it down once a week. Yeah, that's kind of what you got to do in the parking lot with him. Green screen studios. I wish I had a green screen. There's not enough memory in this computer to do the green screen. I've looked into it, but because there's not enough memory in it, can't do the screen. So, yeah, not going to work for what I'm doing here. South Dakota and Wyoming have fuel haulers with no hours of service right now. Isn't that great? There's fuel here. Gas today, by the way, $3.24. Holy mackerel. $3.24 for gas. In town. 67-degree dew point. I love that. Let's see. Oh, yellow was 510. Roadrunners 502. Can you believe it? They almost caught yellow. We thought, at least I thought, dang it, they're on the ropes. They are back and better than ever. Better than ever. In Massachusetts, a truck hit a house. It ran down a hill and ran into a house, a semi. It had 2 dogs in it, one sitting in the driver's seat, which I found quite humorous. They called the company, no response. Also, have not been able to locate the driver of the semi. What do you think about that? What is up with that? Maybe the company is the driver, so that's also possible. But they can't find the driver of this truck. Can they not run a registration? If it's your truck, it goes to you. If it goes to a company, you'd think they'd want to know about their truck. Here's the thing companies could do that would be great is underneath the jump seat have a fridge drawer. Once it added in a truck, well, how about just take the passenger seat out and put a fridge over there, depending on what you wanted to do. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no reason that whole section over there couldn't be set up for better cooking and stuff. Maybe a bigger refrigerator than they put in the back. Yeah. My internet is lagging. Really, you need to get Comcast. You missed, you dingy ding. Where did I miss it somewhere? Whatever company got on my case about fuel consumption, I wanted to see if I could see if you would. I told them I would save you at least 100 gallons a day by leaving your truck in the parking lot. Oh, that's very good. You'd remember JB Hunt. They had a hair policy and facial policy for many years. That's right. Collar length mustache only. Yeah, they did. JB Hunt had this weird policy too. And it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't. What's the difference? So you got a beard. So what? Can you drive? Are you nice to the suppliers and stuff like that? Shipper, receiver. Are you nice to them? Are you nice to everybody the place goes to? Okay. Cheamer Freight Lines is a good place to work in the Northwest. Will they hire students there? Creature, all I'm getting is chant. That's all I get here. My night system batteries usually work for 5 hours after the truck shuts down. So if I could set it for 2 hours, then there's 8 hours of sleep. See, that's not enough. What if you need to sit somewhere longer than that? They need to figure that out if that's actually the case for night. That night system, needs to work. It should work 12 hours, so that'll hold you the whole 10 hours of a break. That's, I rang this bell here. That's not that bell. I shouldn't have rang that when this one's going on. Sorry. That's this. This is, there's that. Oh, it scared me. Okay, so there is that bell, right? Okay. So let's get this here. All right, so let me go back here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I got one here. Let me write these down. So I got D Prince is 1, okay? Next one, Kelly, is 15. And Aviator Trucker is 17 then. Okay, so that's how we do it. D Prince, Kelly Patterson, Aviator Trucker were on my screen at 13, 15, 17. Perfect. 2 primes and a not prime. All right. So put your zip codes out here, right? So I can match that with the address that you're going to send over, and just email your address. I'll get that to them, and you can get your book. Let me know how the book goes. How's that going to go? So we'll see when that comes in, and then I will head out to do what I'm doing here. There's only one steering, right? D Prince 24450. Sweet, sweet. Send your address to the email. It doesn't have to be right away, like, I got to pull over and send it, okay? Just whenever you get a chance. I don't want you to be unsafe or whatever. It isn't a problem. Gas in South St. Louis at Sam's is now to 54. 54 what? 354 maybe? It was rigged. Ha! No, you, Tom. Maybe next time. I guess it's available on Amazon. I didn't know anything about it. Usually books on there aren't that much. So, and this is compliments of GP Transco. I should say that here, which I appreciate them doing that. If you need a good job, GP Transco is a place to give a call to. You can make 90 grand there. It's really something anymore. To say that you can make 90,000 somewhere, I'm just amazed at that. I'm just amazed at it. At 90, I would have never thought that you could make that kind of money driving a truck. That was owner-operator money years ago, Google gives me pictures of refrigerators. Sweet. Let's see. I got D Prince. Right. Yeah, 24450. Right. Got it. Right. Kelly and Aviator Trucker, and then we'll be all set on the zip codes. And then just send me your address so that I can send it to them, so they can send you a soft cover of the book. Soft, like it's 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. kind of cover of the book, not the after 11 p.m. kind of thing where you got to pay extra for it, because we wouldn't want that. So let's see, where did I go with this? For automotive news, which I was put in there, Ford is being sued by General Motors. General Motors has Super Cruise. Ford named their cruise control Blue Cruise. Now, who would do that? Let's name it almost the exact same thing as General Motors. Maybe we can get, although I think maybe they did that to get it out in the news, because I didn't know anything about it until the lawsuit. So maybe they're like, okay, we'll change it, and then at least to get some news going around them. Jay Clemens, if automated trucks started tomorrow, I wonder how many companies would immediately lay off their drivers. Not many, because it's going to be expensive to start. So it will be really expensive. It'll be just large companies to get everybody started, and most people don't work at a large company. Although many people here do, most drivers don't work at a large company, work at a small company, and so they're not going to be able to buy a truck because you're going to have a regular route to run that automated truck to start with. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while for that. Creature put it up there right. Nice. Well, Fudgesicles, I can't read, but I would have tried. Well, that's okay. You're too busy not filling up with DEF every day like I have to. I can't even tell who won. We've got Deep Prince, right, Kelly, and Aviator Truck right here. Those were the winners of the book for just waiting for a zip code and then an address, and send me that address, and we will send you, who's we? GP Transco will send you a copy of that book, right? They come on here and give giveaways sometimes, which I really appreciate. They don't have to do that. They never asked me about that, and I don't get paid for any of that. Just for people that are new or whatever, I don't get paid for any trucking company on this channel at any time. I don't take money from a trucking company to be on the channel. So, just so people know that. Everybody be safe. Keep the wheels on the bottom side. Captain Flatbed. Yeah, you too, rolling out there. In this heat, too. Holy mackerel. At least here. At least here it is. Let's see here. So I had to do that. Oh, okay, right. And don't forget, if you wear it, make it a parrot. That's me as a baby right there. So, cute kid. I was a cute kid. Not so much anymore, right? So, Fleet Nav Systems was here today, too. Answered some questions. If you got any Geotab questions, they're the ones. And I always say, look, Cash is King Trucking is always around doing videos, putting out tons of information over there. I don't know where he finds the time. Probably because it doesn't sleep. Hasn't slept since last fall. Go check him out, would you? And Jay, always want to thank Jay from Auto Transport Intel. He knows about car hauling. I don't know anything about it. I just don't. Go talk to Jay about it. He's live more than that. I should change that. I need to do it. Every week I see it and say I'm going to change it, and then don't change it. So, any truck company that controls the truck on every aspect, including idling, speed, is not worth working for. Aviator Trucking. Yeah. When they tell you can only change lanes a certain number of times, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'll decide, what is safe, when I should change lanes, all that kind of stuff. Gas at Sam's was $2.54. Yikes. I found an independent truck stop the other day that sold DEF for $1.99. Thought about filling up. Yeah, wow. I think it's like $3.80 or whatever when I get it. It seems like it's more than the fuel at the pump. I can't believe they're selling it for $1.99. It must be like Aldi brand. It's like Chinese off-brand stuff. Aviator Trucker 63379. That's not that far away. All right. That's one. I still need Kelly's up there, but we can get that later, I guess, since I have to head out anyways. $2.54. Yeah, it's gas $3.24 here. $2.54 is good, but I'm not a Sam's member. I don't buy that much gas, fortunately. Right? I can't imagine people commuting a long distance or whatever. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. That's why people should commute in a car that is efficient. A small car. Captain Flatbed, we're a small company, 16 trucks. 2 of us have 5 of the trucks. Right. That's most common where people work for a small place like that, which is considered small compared to some of them. And that's where people work, and they find much more success. You don't have all these dumb rules. They just want you to deliver freight, be safe, right, and be a regular driver. That's the way to go. Absolutely. Just have them leave it for me at the desk of GP Transco. I could do that. I could arrange that. Everything on this channel is rigged, big rigged. Oh, that's very good. I might use that. I might steal that. Where do I send the address? There is an email on the screen that you may send your address to, and I will get it to the proper authorities to send that to you, to have the book sent to you. Yeah. So just match that address to the zip code. That's how I do that. That's why I write that. That's why I do it that way. Which I should have I didn't write, so that it matches. So it's not somebody else, which I've had people, oh, well, I have an address here or whatever, Roger Moore, bye, Mark, thanks for hosting. Yeah, thank you for being here. And I do have to head on out anyways to get some work done, or they're going to gripe at me. Even though it's hot out, we're going to hope the air's still working in the truck after sitting, but I'm going to assume that's going to be correct. So, Al John, so thank you for being here. Today, first was George H.W. Bush, which I appreciate. Look, I appreciate everybody coming in here, listening to the podcast in your ear hole, and everywhere else, watching videos. I appreciate it. Okay, I do what I can, and if you have any suggestions or whatever, you mark you're dumb or whatever, write to me. I love getting letters. Some days I get 10, some days I get 40. So please write to me, and let's keep in touch. Midlife Trucker, thanks for being here. Deep Prince, I appreciate you coming in here today. Antonio, what's going on? Antonio Hernandez, thank you for coming in. Fisher Brown, thank you for being here. Let's see, where did I go off to? Alexandra was here today. Luke was here today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kelly, I'll have them take care of it. Major Barrett was here today. Let's see. Oh, Holly Calamari. Hey, what's going on? Good to see some new names. Donkey Bite was here today. John's Zale Black. Dang it, I can never get that one. It's good to see you anyways. Believe me, I never try to mispronounce people's names. Johnny on the flip side. Dave Johnson. Let's see, where am I? Oh, and I'm going to have to head out of here before they start griping at me at work. And that's what I'm going to head off and do today. So, Trucker Hershey was here today. And let's see, where's this? Oh, this thing, right? Move this over here. And thank you for being here. More videos. Podcast, new one on Tuesday, Friday. That's what I'm working for in the podcast. So get over there, download it, be the first in, money back if not satisfied.